Good evening, everyone. Welcome to IRC. We are here at the land of the rising sun for the Japanese Grand Prix. Of course, this was the scene of the most epic race you'll see in IRC history, won't you? Which is a big statement. Of course, where Fizzy won his maiden Grand Prix victory, wasn't it? Fantastic stuff indeed there. But of course, that was last season. This is this season, and a lot of things have changed this season, haven't they? Of course, it was T. Sammy who was the man with the man that everyone's chasing. Well, this season is a different car, isn't it? It's Maxi who is currently leading the World Championship as well, as we are now heading into round 11 as well. Goodness me, and the season is flying by, isn't it? As we've got a random calendar. So once again then, it's going to be similar to all the other races that a lot of people would not have driven in some of these races before, so it's going to be a tough one, isn't it? Once again, then, in terms of like strategy and what you're going to and what is your aim going to be, and how are you going to get to the end? And that's all the stuff that we need to find out before the end tonight, which I am 100% sure we will. Then, as we are now getting 18 turns around this circuit, and of course, as we are just getting into the loading screen now, and we're getting ready to get going as well. As you can see, it's very dull and overcast overhead, isn't it? Goodness me, then. We're looking very frightful as an air. Oh, goodness me. We have, so let's quickly go through the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? And it is, of course, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, as Max is leading the championship by 16 points now. So he was running away with it, wasn't he, a couple of races ago? Now, all of a sudden, it's starting to, the gap is starting to come down slightly, isn't it? We have also got T. Sammy in second position, then with Steve dropping from second to third at the moment. Then fourth position is Sprint. Then he's had a fantastic season. Sprint has really good stuff indeed. Then Matt has moved up into fifth position, with Timmy dropping down into sixth. Roscoe, Hogg and Fizzy 7th, 8th and 9th, status quo, and Val has moved back into the top 10 as well, displacing Ansdog, who I think is having a bit of a nightmare season at the moment, isn't he? Ansdog, unfortunately. The other main mover last time out was Mason C, who is of course on his debut got a point as well. So fantastic stuff from Mason C there. Really good stuff indeed, and he is back in the racing point again here tonight then. So let's see what he can do on his second test then in his IRC career. In the constructors, this is how it is at the moment. We're watching at the constructors leaders at the moment, or one half of the constructors leaders I should say, in the form of the AlphaTauri. And then we've got Alfa Romeo in second position. Then we've got Ferrari, who is in third position, with Haas in fourth. And fifth is McLaren. Sixth is Red Bull. Seventh position, Mercedes, with Renault 8th. And Racing Point 9th. And Williams in 10th position. Then positions haven't really changed, have they, over the past couple of rounds or so in the constructors there. I've got to say it's a bit wide, isn't it, in the constructors at the moment then. So but drivers is much more nip and tuck, isn't it? As Sprinter said, evening Sean, hello Sprint. I hope you're all right then. And we've also got Gareth for saying evening Sean. Hello Gareth, I hope you're having a lovely day as well then, as we're now just floating up into the 130R as well then. And you can see then dropping down a few gears because he is about to get on to his lap now then. And of course this is where we're going to see a lot of queuing, and there's going to be a bit of traffic around this Japanese circuit, and the only figure of 8 circuit on the racing calendar, isn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed there. Of course it took a break from the Formula 1 calendar between 2007 and 8 there, where he went to Fiji, and there was some good races around there. Of course, the 2007 Grand Prix at Fiji was fantastic, wasn't it? Of course, it was bucking it down with rain there, getting up very early in the morning. I think it was 5 o'clock, wasn't it? 5:30 UK time, as I'm sure when the broadcast started. And goodness me, then weary nights as well. There was a lot of delays, wasn't there, that night as well? But I got to say, it was all worth it, wasn't it? And Lewis Hamilton there had a fine drive once again there, really showing it in his first season that he was a top-class performer in the wet then. Unfortunately, 2008 didn't go too well at all there for Lewis Hamilton, because unfortunately him and Massa came to blows there, and that didn't do too well at all. As I think at the beginning though, it was Hamilton that had a Lariat lunge at Raikkonen, didn't they? And then from then on really he had a nightmare race. And I think that actually opened the door for Fernando Alonso to win his second Grand Prix of the season. Fantastic stuff. And this time he didn't need his teammate to crash into a wall either. And we all know about Crashgate, don't we, from 2008? That infamous round in goodness. That infamous storyline. Goodness me, I didn't come out to a year later, did it? On board with Sprint as he is coming up to the 130R as well. Then we have got a lot of drivers out on circuit at the moment. Everyone is out on track apart from 4 drivers at the moment. Then as we're now coming into the Triangle Chicane, which I think is the Triangle Chicane. Broke Gorilla said, evening, Sean. Hello, Broke. I hope you're having a lovely time. Hope you're having a lovely time as well. 28.5, and it's to get us off the market then for sprint. And what about, so I think that was Matt who's just starting us up behind us. I think it is. I think it's it is Matt indeed then. So Matt starts his time now then. We got Hog who's out on the track as well. And we got McLaren just coming over the line as well. And so we got Asdog who is second fast. He's on the medium tyres at the moment now. Now we got Fizzy who's fast, and he is very good around the circle, isn't he? He showed that last season, but also the season before as well, where he got a brilliant, lovely helmet design there from Fizzy. Love it. And I wonder if that is a special, if that's a special edition helmet to celebrate his victory here last season. Maxi is second at the moment then. So excuse me. Sorry. Maxi is second at the moment then, and he's a couple of tenths away from Fitz at the moment. We've got Timmy in 5th position, and Hog is in 6th, and Mason is in front of his teammate Penny by 2 tenths per second at the moment. And we've got Gaz, who's also making his second appearance in the IRC in the Red Bull as well. We got Ristlestick said, who's just going a bit wide into turn 1. Here comes T Sammy, who was unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, in that famous race there, was second last time raced around here. It was brilliant, wasn't it? I'm wondering, as we got I think we got one of the racing points. He was stuck off at the one of the S's there on the far side of the course then, unfortunately for him, but we'll keep an eye and see if he's still going now. So luckily no damage then, or no terminal damage there on that racing point as well. Lovely shot of the brake disc glowing there as Matt comes around the final turn as well. He is 6th fast at the moment, and he's on pole position. Last time we was racing in IRC, and that was back in Singapore. Lovely stuff. And we have got Harry, who's just moved into 6th position in the McLaren, and we've also got I think that was Asdog, who's just moved into 5th fastest now as well, as you now got a Ferrari coming across the line as well. The Max is now improved to 2nd fastest then, but still Fizzy at the moment then, who is got the bit between his teeth, so to speak, hasn't he? Because he's currently leading the way at the moment. Watching Ristlesticks come through the 130 yard now. Of course, that used to be a formidable corner, didn't it? Before you had so much downforce bolted onto the cars, and unfortunately now it's not really a corner at all, is it? Of course, so we've had some huge chunks over the years around there, haven't we? As Ristlesticks goes into 10th fast mode out in front of the 2 racing points as well. What about Roscoe? Roscoe coming into the final part of the course as well then. And going through the Triangle Chicane then, before it accelerated away then. And there used to be a horrible bump around there, didn't it, on the last game, but that's been taken away now. Roscoe goes 4th fastest then, and hopefully Roscoe can make up for what was a pretty disappointing event in Singapore just over a week ago then. So hopefully he can get himself back into the mix as well. At the end of tonight though, we will officially be halfway through the Season 8 of the IRC World Championship, which is incredible, isn't it? Goodness me. This championship is absolutely flying by. Just watching Val at the moment there in the Mercedes, as he is now starting a lap now. We're on board with him as he goes through the S's as well. This part of the course is absolutely formidable, isn't it? You need a good you need a good setup on the air course. We was talking to Double during the week actually, and Double was talking about his setup. Of course, Double is very much like Nicky Lauder-esque, isn't he, in terms of setting up the car? He is absolutely pinpoint, isn't he, Double is? So if you ever want someone to any setup tips, then just ask Double. He's brilliant, isn't he? So he's currently in the pits at the moment now. Double is and hasn't ventured out on track just yet then, but yeah, Double will be with PB is there for session there. Hopefully he doesn't usually take part in qualifying, PB don't, so I think I'll be more concerned if he lost connection in the race and in qualifying, but we'll soon see how he does then. But we're back on board. Val coming through Spoon as well. Of course these corner names just roll off the tongue, don't they, as now then he's approaching the formidable 130 yards as well. Of course over the years then we've had big smashes at 130. I think Schwari had a big smash there in 2009, I think it was. Alan McNish had a scary accident, didn't he? Went over the other side of the barrier. That's a Ferrari off in the gravel on the inside of 130 yard. But yeah, Alan McNish went on the other side of the barrier. That was a big old crunch there from Alan McNish. He unfortunately didn't start his final race of Formula 1 in the Toyota, as Val goes full fast. Both Mercedes are looking quite strong at this stage. And here comes Steve. He has dropped down into third in the World Championship. Steve, but he's only 18 points away from the championship leader, Max, at the moment. As now then is we got Steve going into full fast at the moment. T Sammy is a long way down at the moment. Out of the pits out comes double in the Renault as well. PB is still the pit side we're watching. Gaz at the moment, and he is going for another bite of the chair as well. Lovely helmet here from Gaz as well. The 1994 helmet, if I'm not very much mistaken, or is it 95 of Michael Schumacher? I'm sure it's a 95 one, isn't it? If I'm very much mistaken, I apologise as well. As Chris Hughes just said, good luck, Val. Yeah, it was a cracking lap, wasn't it, from Val? He's up in the 5th position at the moment now, and really mixed it in with the top brass of IRC at the moment now. Of course, with Maxi and Steed there, and of course, we got T. Sammy down in 9th position at the moment now, and the Alfa Romeo team, I think, will be quite disappointed with being second in the constructors moment, because they were definitely favourites, weren't they, going into this season about really being, about running away in the constructors, because they have got two very good drivers, two former race winners as well, haven't they, in the form of Asdog and T. Sammy, but unfortunately hasn't been the case. Asdog has had a difficult season, I think, and I think T. Sammy, who has had a couple of brushes there with incidents in all sorts, but he's getting himself back on form now, and Asdog has shown glimpses of what he can really do out there. But unfortunately, I'm around 11 now, and I think the title dream for Asdog is probably all but gone this season. But of course, this is because we're going to have season 9 also on Formula 1 2020 as well. This will be a building blocks for next season. We're watching Gaz as well, and not even a hint of a lift through 130R now. Is that these cars got so much downforce. He's gone a bit wide though into the triangle chicane, if it even is called the triangle chicane. I just make it up as I go along sometimes. And now coming out into turn 18 as well. DRS, only one DRS zone around here. That's what's unique about this circuit. Not only is it of course, the only figure of 8 on the calendar, it's a bit like Monaco. There's only one DRS zone around here, of course, so there's nowhere else to really pull it. So I suppose you can pull it on the run up to the 130R, but of course, then of course, you don't hit the brakes at the 130R anymore, do you? So it'd be up to the drivers to switch it off, and I'm not really sure we can trust these men in these formidable machines. Do it into Degner 1, then Matt is 8/10 a second up in the first split time. Brilliant stuff under the bridge as well. Good stuff indeed. Then as he now comes into the hairpin, of course, the Kobayashi hairpin, which I think he made famous, didn't he, back in 2010 there, as he was overtaking people left, right and centre, and doing some really clean overtakes as well. I think the only person that really didn't want to be overtaken there was Alguersuari, I think, who lost his front wing in the process of trying to keep in front of Kobayashi, but unfortunately that didn't work, did it? And now then Matt coming out Spoon as well there, and now we'll climb up the hill once again, and this is the part of the circuit where we go over the crossover as well. Then you can see Degner 2 is just going to be on the right hand side there. Matt is not even interested in Degner 2 anymore. All he is interested in is the final part of the lap as well. The last 3 turns there, breaking down into third gear then about 60 miles an hour before accelerating away and getting on the power nicely. The back end is beautifully in line there. He goes across the line and he is 5th fast, and a much better time there from Matt. Then it's a good second bite of the cherry then as well. Here comes double. We've also got Gaz just in front of us as well, but Gaz is on the medium tires, and I wonder if Gaz is just trying to find a bit of confidence in the track. Then we'll soon find out then. As a double comes across the line, he goes into 15 fast at the moment. He splits the racing points, and he's also into qualifying 3 if the checker flag dropped now then. So good stuff from double then, and that was only his first time up as well. So the evolution of double, we're going to see over the course of this qualifying session, and of course also the evolution of track as well. Mason's back out on the circuit as well. We've also got Rizzle Sticks as well. Let's go on board with Mason, shall we? Of course, the newest member to the RC grid then, of course, he is in the racing point as well, and he's got a very good teammate in the former Penny, a very experienced veteran of the game now, isn't he? Penny is. So I wonder if Mason could be learning a thing or two off his teammate. Having said that, he's in front of his teammate at the moment. As the brake discs are glowing there on car 21 then, as he accelerates out of the hairpin. Lovely shot indeed then before he accelerates away, and of course then as he flies up the Spoon as well. This corner here really is not really a corner at all, is it? The gentle right-hander there. It can be quite formidable in the wet there. There's I think and also I think Kufar had a smash there in 1999 as Mason there almost there going off at Spoon. Of course he would be in good company though, because David Kufar went off there in 95, and I think Damon Hill went off there twice, didn't he? He had he was on a bit of a difficult time in the weekend, the Japanese Grand Prix 1995 as well. Of course, this track has settled a lot of championships over the year, hasn't it? As Mason comes back in the pits, then of course we had where Hakkinen and Schumacher in '98. Then that was a cracking Grand Prix, wasn't it? Schumacher stalled on the grid, didn't he? And because he had to come through the field, he got up to third, I think, and then he had a puncture, didn't he? Which really ended his championship hopes and dreams. Really, he did change his helmet that weekend. I always remember as Rizzlesticks has done a very competitive time now. He's gone into then fast in front of T. Salmon, he was dropping down the order. T. Salmon might feel the need to come out again. Then we've got a yellow flag under the second Degner there. Is when the Red Bulls are just cruising at the moment. Penny's out on circuit as well. Let's go on board Penny. Then who's Salmon had another bite of the cherry as well on new fresh soft tires according to the graphic there. Let's see what he can do as well. Yeah, just going back to the history of the Japanese Grand Prix. Hakkinen in Schumacher '98. Then of course unfortunately Schumacher had a punch there and just really could tell this championship hopes and dream. I remember Martin Brundle saying he had a chromed helmet, didn't he? And really, when you're battling for the championship, perhaps if you believe in superstition or not, then perhaps it wasn't a good idea, was it? But if having changed your helmet design on the final one. But also '99 as well, it was Hakkinen against Irvine this time, with Schumacher trying to help Irvine out. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, was it? Hakkinen was in formidable form, wasn't he, in '99? But 2000, a year later, Schumacher finally claimed the first world championship for Ferrari, for the drivers anyway, in 21 years there, and it was a great race as well. It was a great duel between Hakkinen and Schumacher, really good stuff indeed. And of course that will be one of the last as well, wouldn't it, as Hakkinen decided to hang up his helmet at the end of 2001, which was only supposed to be for a sabbatical, wasn't it? And it was Kimi Räikkönen stepped into the big to his fellow countryman's big boots there, wasn't he? And he was the new flying Finn, the Iceman, and but of course that 1 year probably turned into a permanent retirement there for Hakkinen, didn't it? And which is a shame there. But of course we did gain Kimi Räikkönen. And Kimi Räikkönen's best years was actually, I think, 2003 to 2005. He was formidable in that McLaren, wasn't he? He was fantastic. Here comes Penny. He's 3 seconds up in the second sector. This is going to leapfrog Penny up. Almighty, isn't it? Incredible stuff indeed. Then as he comes into the triangle chicane as well. Then as he goes left, right, accelerating out. Then and now into turn 18 as well. Then the fuel light is flashing and he goes across the grid and he goes into 12th fastest Penny. That's a very good time then, and that might cause that's going to cause a lot of people to really think about coming back out for another run there as well. T. Sammy, the defending champion, is down in 13th now, isn't he? Hogg, who's usually more often than not in the qualifying free as well, he's down in 14th. Then we're on board of Mason again then, as Mason there is just navigating his way through the triangle chicane as well. JJ has got a qualifying ban unfortunately, so he will not be in qualifying. I don't think he's going to take part in this qualifying session with less than 2 minutes to go then. And he comes over the grid as well then. So Mason, who's in qualifying at the moment now, but he is he's going to be looking over his shoulder there with double. Oh, Mason's got white there, and I think that might. Oh, and he's gone into the wall. He's in the wall. He's gone in a big way there. Mason went wide there, didn't he? Out of the first chicane then, and unfortunately because of that, then he's out of qualifying. And Mason then, who that is a big shame as well, because currently he's in qualifying at the moment. Double looks like he ain't coming back out, and that might have. That's a shame now for Mason. Of course, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Oh, and that's Gaz, who's also gone off the track as well there in the Red Bull. He has done a 33 at the moment, but Gaz, is he damaged the end plate? He has damaged the end plate, and that might be Gaz also out of qualifying as well, unfortunately. And that is that's a big shame for Gaz, isn't it? Mason would be absolutely gutted with that, isn't he? Because the way that things are unfolding now, it's the way that things are unfolding now. Then no, Mason would have got through then, because we got JJ and PB still in the pits. Then Gaz is going to have to come back in, because I don't think he's going to get quicker on that on that front wing, which is damaged then. Val's also out on circuit as well at the moment. Let's just take a look and see what Val's doing. And he's coming across the line and he's 3/10 down. And I think that will be the end of qualifying one, unfortunately, then. So that's such a shame for Mason, isn't it? He got a bit out of shape, didn't he, coming through the second corner, and he was trying to carry the speed, wasn't he, for the S's. And of course, if you make one mistake for the S's, you carry the time loss all the way through, don't you? All the way through up until Dunlop, don't you? So it's such a big blow, isn't it? Really, if you make a mistake through there, don't you? So just watching Val at the moment, he's a second and a half down, as he is now just I think he's just coming back in the pits then in the not too distant future. Steve is just actually under the radar slightly. He's got him to full fast then. Good 7D there from Steve. Of course, Maxi, who is less than well, he's 300 to a second away from Fizzy at the moment, who has set the benchmark, hasn't he? Fizzy has come out all firing on all cylinders, hasn't he? He has really come out and really staking a claim, isn't he, for pole position for the Japanese Grand Prix, and maybe doing a repeat of last season. So Steven just coming in the pits now as well then. So just confirm that out of qualifying we have lost Mason, unfortunately. He is in the wall, isn't he? Remember Irvine crashed here in the 99 qualifying session, didn't he? He was only 5th at that stage as well. If it was before 2002, Mason would be running back to the garage now to get into the spare car, wouldn't they? Which would the team will be frantically getting ready now, but unfortunately that's not the case, is it? No T cars in Formula 1 anymore, so that is it for Mason. He is out of qualifying. There's a lot of drivers, as Steve's gone fast as there. He's done a 20, he's 3/10 second up in the final sector, and of course he has just knocked Fizzy off his perch for the time being anyway then. So yeah, so I remember back in good old I say the good old days. Of course, qualifying used to be an hour long, didn't it? And we had a lot of teammates used to share cars if there was issues, wasn't it? I remember Hill and Denise shared a car in the '97 Australian Grand Prix. Of course, then when I think it was Hill's car that had issues, wasn't it? And I think him and Dennis was hopping in and out, and Hill only just qualified, I think. Unfortunately, he shouldn't have bothered, really, should he? Because I think he didn't even make it past the formation lap that day, which was just the poor start to Arrow's career, then Arrow's season, wasn't it? Of course, Arrow's was Arrow's development. It was pretty impressive, wasn't it? And of course, the Bridgestone tires was fantastic, especially in the later half of the year, which almost could have and should have given Damon Hill the win at the Hungarian Grand Prix. As just watching Steve then coming back into the pits now as well. So Steve at the moment is currently topping out, and of course that's good for a psychological edge, isn't it? How is that going? And T Sammy down in 13th position. He's only done one lap though, of course, then. So there's still more to come from T Sammy, but yeah, down in 13th position at the moment, and that's not going to do his psyche any good whatsoever, there, is it? But of course this is only qualifying one, and there is a lot more to come. Steve is going around once again then, and he's I think he's just trying to test out those cars, really, just making sure how towards the limit he can go as well, while he is I think that's the highest limit he can go now, and I think he's just enjoying himself out there, isn't he? Well, we did start off quite gloomy over it, didn't it? Very overcast here at Suzuka. Of course, we have had qualifying sessions in the past that have been cancelled, haven't we? 2004 was one of them, wasn't it, where we had qualifying on the Sunday, and we've had a lot of times, I think it was 2010 as well, if I'm not very much mistaken, where we also had qualifying on the Sunday, and I think we've also had a couple of other times as well, of course, where we've had a kind of a typhoon kind of come through, isn't it? Brooke Willis just thrown his prediction in for the race as well. He thinks that this man Steve, who could get his second race win tonight, then for the race win. Well, that is what Brooke Gorilla is hoping for, isn't it? Goodness me, there's Brooke Gorilla there throwing his hat in the ring now, and saying that Steve's going to get the race win. Of course, Steve won in Vietnam, didn't he? Unfortunately, only got 2 points, didn't he, in Singapore? So, and that's why Steve has lost second in the World Drivers' Championship as well. So then, out of qualifying, PB 19th, JJ 18th, Gaz is 17th, Double is in 16th, and we've got Mason, who is in 15th, and he's out of qualifying as well after damaging the car, which is such a shame now for Mason, isn't it, really, because he would have gone through them. But of course, as I've already mentioned, hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it, in Formula 1, and unfortunately Mason did not know that at the time, did he? He did not know that Gaz had damage, and he did not know that Double was only going to do one timed run then. Here's qualifying 2 then as well. Oh, look at that then. We got a bit more sunshine on the roads now as well. Also that famous Ferris wheel there in the background rotating around as well. Of course, that's one of the first things you see when you come here to Suzuka, don't you? It's absolutely fantastic. It really is, isn't it? Right, we're 15 seconds into qualifying 2 as well. And this is where it's going to get really interesting indeed, isn't it? So, of course, it's all about strategy and things like that. If you get into the top 10, you must start on the tyres which you set your fastest time on. And that's a very good shot. As you can see that the pit lane in the start line is slightly downhill here, isn't it? So of course you got to make sure you keep your foot slightly on the brake there when you take off on the when you take off for the start there, for you will get a jump start, of course. And well, there's been a lot of arguments over the past recent years about jump starts and all that kind of jazz, hasn't there? Which is really, I thought it would be in black and white, really. Jump start's a jump start, but the same with the pit entry as well, isn't it? Where it's not even where you're just even if you're slightly over, it does depend on like percentage and all that kind of stuff. To be honest, I think it's a bit too complicated, really, isn't it? You should, if you've jump started or if you're slightly over, that's it. You should be thrown. The book should be thrown at you, shouldn't you? But there you go. There, we're just watching because of course I think that came into that was a debate, wasn't it? When Hamilton sped in the pit lane at the British Grand Prix, I think it was this season, or was it the 70th anniversary? It was one or the other, wasn't it? I'm gonna get so confused there because of course we've technically had 2 Austrian Grand Prix and 2 British Grand Prix this season, and we're also going to have 2 Bahrain Grand Prix as well, albeit we haven't one on the oval circuit, haven't we? As we're just watching T Sammy there, who is just coming in to the spoon corner as well. Of course, there's been I think I've noticed a couple of interesting articles about Rio, isn't it, going to replacing Interlagos, but the only problem with that is that they have to build a new circuit, don't they, which ain't going to please some environmental friendly people out there, is it? And to be honest, I like Interlagos. The only problem with Interlagos is though there's been times in the past, isn't there, where safety of the drivers and the team personnel is not really it's not been very safe out there at times, has it? And of course, safety must take paramount in this sport, and that is why Formula 1 has introduced the Halo as well. And I got to say, I was not a big lover of the Halo, but it does it's done a world of good, hasn't it? Because George Russell has also confirmed that the stray wheel in the Belgian Grand Prix might have hit him if that halo wasn't attached to him. To once I can't remember the incident too well in Belgium, really, because I can't remember what I had an hour ago. So we're just watching T Sammy going to Degner 1, going slightly wide into Degner 1, but he carried the speed through absolutely splendidly well indeed. Then Gareth said damage on the car cost me then. That's such a shame, isn't it, really, of course, as there wasn't much action towards the end of qualifying one, was there, really? Otherwise, you might have been able to snuck through there, wouldn't you? Really? So it's but of course, unfortunately, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it, in Formula 1? And of course, if you had it, then I think a lot more drivers would definitely be in now, wouldn't they? So that's a big shame now for Gareth, isn't it? But don't worry, we'll see him in the race, of course. So do not go anywhere, Gareth fans. He will be back in action then. So we've got T Sammy there coming through the 130 as well, not taking too much liberties there with the outside track there. T Sammy there, not really drifting wide at all there, so not really maximising the speed there from T Sammy. Let's see what he can do then. He's on the medium tyres, of course, then, because if he gets in the top 10, he must on the tyres which you set your fastest time on, and he's done a 29.0 so far. Lovely stuff indeed then. Here comes Sprint then, but I think I should be looking at his teammate, and we indeed are now looking at Matt then, the man who was on pole position last time out. Well, he's now fastest for qualifying 2 anyway, and we got Timmy now as well. Timmy coming out the final turn then. He's only ever been on pole position once in his career, well, at the moment, and as oh goodness me, T Sammy is gone. T Sammy is out of qualifying, and he's gone out the same place as where Mason went out earlier on. And oh gosh, T Sammy then, who looks a bit out of sorts. Well, now that's major, isn't it? He is out of qualifying, and oh goodness me, Fizzy's gone fast as well. As I think Matt was just giving him a cheeky little wave there in the cockpit. But T Sammy is out of qualifying. That is huge to start this event here in IRC. Goodness me, Val is in 4th position, and Timmy is up in the 3rd. Then his Sprint has gone fastest in the 2nd AlphaTauri as well. He's having a fine season, isn't he? Sprint is. And goodness me, the qualifying session has just gone mega here, hasn't it? Here in Suzuka. My goodness gracious me. He wasn't. T Sammy looked a bit out of sorts in qualifying 1, didn't we? But he only had 1 time lap. But goodness me, then, is that a poor setup for T Sammy, or is that a mistake for T Sammy? We'll find out then. Later on, hopefully, as I'll keep an eye out and give you some of the inside scoop. But that is a big blow, isn't it, for T Sammy and his championship quest as well. Oh goodness me, Hog has just done a 42 then. Hopefully Hog can get a got something going in this Renault this time as he comes through Dunlop, and the yellow flags are fluttering all around the Suzuka International Circuit at the moment as well, into Degner too as well. We had a couple of issues there in the qualifying 2009, didn't we? I gotta say, qualifying 2009 was one of the longest I've ever been in, one of the longest I've ever watched, I'm sure. Goodness me, we had red flag after red flag, didn't we? Had red flag in each of the qualifying sessions, didn't we? Of course, I think it was over 5 drivers that got also penalised, didn't they, for speeding under their flags when Buemi made a complete mess. Coming out of Spoon and going up to the 130 yard there. Hogg taking too much curb into Spoon there, and that spat him out wide there, maybe a bit too wide then for his liking, but he is carrying on anyway. Now this is where Buemi was making a mess on the outside, and I think Button got a penalty, didn't he? I think Alonso did as well, even though Alonso was adamant he slowed down enough, but he was on board with him. I don't think he slowed down at all then. And talking to Alonso, he is returning back to Formula 1 next season with the Alpine team, which is this team here, and Hogg then of course has gone too wide there, and unfortunately Hogg is he's improved actually, so good 70 there for Hogg, but there's much more in the piggy bank, isn't it, for the Renault driver, as we have got Rizzle Sticks there coming out of Spoon as well. He is going the next man to cross the line, and he is flying up the hill as well. His teammate Maxi has also just started us up as well, as Maxi is coming out of Dunlop and up to Degner 1 then, where it's staying on board there in Rizzle Sticks, and Maxi's just going to go underneath Rizzle Sticks as well. Lovely stuff indeed then, now into the chicane then as well then. Here we go then, so Rizzle Sticks there hopping over the curbs there as well, accelerating away Rizzle Sticks has, and let's see what he can do then. He's hoping to get some points I think on the board, Rizzle Sticks, and he's 6th fastest moment. His qualifying performance has been quite impressive actually. It's unfortunately it just doesn't go well in the race day, race, does it, itself? I keep saying race day, of course. Qualifying and the race is on the same day in IRC. It's fantastic, isn't it? It really is, that is. We're just watching Max then, he's powering his way up the hill once again, and you can see, I think he's got a new helmet there. It's a beautiful helmet there, a bit of pink and a bit of blue as well. Oceana blue, isn't it? I think it is, something like that, or Abu Dhabi blue, depending on where you are in the world. So just watching a Max then coming out of the chicane as well. You can see accelerating away. Car 96 in the Ferrari. He has shown flashes of brilliance last season, but this season he's really putting it all together. But he's a 10th of a second slower at the moment in sprint. He hasn't gone faster so far. Sprint goes. Steve goes second fast. I was hoping to catch him before he crossed the line there, but Steve is not only too fast for some of these drivers, he's also too fast for me as well. But he is second fastest at the moment, and he's just got in front of Maxi, and in second position moment. But Steve is also looking on fine. Vettel as well. We've got yellow flags there almost all the way across the circuit at the moment. We're on board Harry at the moment then, and it's great to see Harry back in the car as well. I think he missed out in the Singapore Grand Prix, if I'm not very much mistaken. I think he did, didn't he? So it's great to see Harry back in the car as well. Let's see what he can do. He's currently done he's on 28 points at the moment then in the McLaren as well. So let's see then. So he's on an outlap at the moment then, so he's primed the car. He's on the medium tyres. Alright then, here we go then. As you can see, accelerating, getting a bit slidey there. But I think Harry's not going to be too interested in that one iota there, because all he's interested in, look at the sunshine now then, goodness me then. As got to say, we've the weather around here then is huge. Oh, he's got a bit wide into turn 1 there, and that might compromise him for turn 2. He might have lost a bit of time there, as we've got to keep an eye on the yellow flags there, because we've already seen 2 cars into the Armco barrier already there, and their qualifying sessions have ended early already. As Harry now coming through Dunlop as well, then he is on a quick lap now in the McLaren. Lovely onboard camera work there, brilliant stuff indeed then through Degner 1 as well, and that's a Alpha Tauri there who is hugging the inside there, getting well away of Harry there. That ain't going to distract Harry, is it? As now he's coming up into the hairpin as well then. And you can see then accelerating away Harry is as well, and then accelerating out of it. I think the Perez actually did a good old number on Hamilton, didn't he, back in 2012? But unfortunately, I think he tried it one too many times, didn't he, in the gravel there. I think it was literally the week after he was confirmed at McLaren for 2013, wasn't he, Perez? Now I think that was also a week after Hamilton confirmed that he was going to Mercedes. And the rest, as they say, is history. Well, fortunately, it went very well for one driver and pretty appalling for the other driver, Perez, didn't it? And in that turn, of course, unfortunately, Perez then went to Force India, and then he's basically been there ever since, hasn't he, Perez has? And it's been a bit, well, until next season anyway, as Vettel has taken his seat, isn't he? Which is going to be the rebranded Aston Martin, which I got to say, I'm really looking forward to as well. It's a shame that Perez, unfortunately, has lost the seat, though. Harry is not in qualifying 3 just yet, though, so he's going to have to find some more time then. Fizzy is back out on circuit as well, on the soft tyres as well. Fizzy is not even thinking about going onto the medium tyres, going over the curb side, and as we said, Fizzy's a bit of an expert around here, isn't he? Lovely shot here. Goodness me, then. So close to the camera. Lovely stuff indeed. And he goes through Degner too as well. Fizzy is an expert around this circuit, isn't he? Goodness me, then. I think that need any tips about tackling this incredible roller coaster race course, just ask this man. He's absolutely in fine. Vettel once again, isn't he? Really up there as well. Fizzy's had a bit of I think we've spoken to him in the French Grand Prix, a bit disappointed with his season, Fizzy is, but of course Fizzy is trying out a steering wheel, isn't he, for the first time as well. And of course also the game is slightly different to 2019. 2019, if I must say so, definitely suited Fizzy's driving style in my opinion, because he was fantastic last season. I think that was the strongest season to date in the IRC, wasn't it? But this season hasn't started off too well, has it? But maybe maybe it won't be like Asdog there. Maybe a building block then for season 9. But so we were only halfway through this season, so you can't write off this season just yet, can you? Now anything can happen in IRC, and it usually does. Then Fizzy goes fast. There's a 9/10 of second improvement. He was 1.3 improvement in the second sector, and he goes fast. Then sprinters back out on circuit as well. As Harry going for no run. He is a 10th for second down, and Harry has completely missed the chicane. So I think that he's abandoned that one as well. Here because Matt is on the soft tire as well. Then as I got to start to get comfortable here, because this is going to get very uncomfortable for a lot of the other drivers out there. And of course as Matt goes second fast, and also on the soft tires. He's only 2/10 a second up on his teammate Sprint at the moment. As once again Sprint is doing fantastic, isn't he? He's has he been more driver this season? I think he has been. Really, he's been magnificent, hasn't he? Sprint has really good stuff indeed there for Sprint. He's been showing moments of brilliance, but this season he's really elevated himself to another level, hasn't he? And he's doing a good job in 4th position in the World Championship, isn't he? On next season, and I keep talking about next season, goodness me, we're only on round 12. I'd like to see what Sprint could do next season as well. And I think that he lost points in Vietnam, didn't he? Where he probably should have got 18 on the board there, but got on the power too heavily out the front, turning completely threw away 18 points there, unfortunately. As a Sprint there is coming into Triangle Chicane. He had a bit of a so-so middle sector there. I wonder if he's going to abandon this up. He is indeed. There were just 3 minutes to go in this session, and so he is back in the pits now. Penny there is coming into the airpit as well. As look at that, a lovely shot. I love that shot there. And there is Matt behind him as well. I think Matt is just cruising back to the pits there. He's already done a lap on these soft tyres. Of course, there's I think there's 26 laps around here, isn't there? The Japanese Grand Prix is a 53-lap race, isn't it? Normally, of course. Oh, it's a Penny there. Get on the curb there, and that almost sent the racing point in the wrong way. But Penny there kept it in control. He kept it calm at the wheel, didn't he? As he is now building up the hill as well. Ooh, lovely. As you can see there, we're surrounded by nature, aren't we? As Martin Brothers also discovered that there's a lot of very deadly spiders out there, isn't there? I think he found a load in the Dunlop 2 area, didn't he? Goodness me. I just remember one year when he was walking around practice, he was showing shots of us, and I was like, ooh, I'm not a big spider fan. I am a big fan of Spider-Man though. As Penny comes across the line, and he is 11th fastest. T-Sam at the moment is in qualifying 3 effectively, albeit he will not be able to take part then. So these guys have got to find another 2/10 of a second to get themselves into qualifying 3, and the moment Penny is out of qualifying 3. Harry is coming out on circuit as well. Sprint has retired from the session. He is in the pits though, so that's all fine and dandy as well. We've got Rizzle Sticks there. We've also got Timmy out there as well. Timmy is through turn 18 as well. Montoya's had a big smash there in 2005, wasn't it? Rizzle Sticks has come back in the pits, and Rizzle Sticks is through at the moment, but is he going to be able to stay there? Penny is 2 seconds down, and then we've got Harry is having another bite of cherry as well. Hogg and Asdog are not coming out then in this qualifying 2 session. So here we go then. Harry is the last man, and can he get himself through and into qualifying 3 as well? Then on board with Harry then, as you can see then coming across the grid action as well. His best time is a 1:29.227 as well, as he flings it up into turn 1 as well, drifting side wide. That's a much better attempt on this time around there for Harry. And I've got to say, that's a cracking slide there from Harry. Goodness me, there, giving it all kinds of welly there, fantastic. And he's now coming through the S's as well. Look at this, then. It is incredible, isn't it? And as you can see around the circuit, it's old school, isn't it? And everywhere, every corner you go, you can. There's been some major incidents. Of course, we do not want to cover the 2014 incident there. Of course, there's unfortunately Jules Bianchi. Unfortunately, Jules Bianchi there had a horrific accident there, didn't he, in the 2014 Japanese Grand Prix, and also we had a horrific incident there. I think it was with, it was Kimi Räikkönen and Jean Alesi, I think, wasn't it, as Max is retired from the session then. But yeah, it was Kimi Räikkönen and Jean Alesi also had a big smash there in 2001 as well. So now then flying through the spoon corner then, Harry is, and lovely some did there for the McLaren, and let's see then, he needs to find 2 tenths of a second, the same that Penny needed as well, as the checker flag has dropped then, it's over then, only out on track is the 2 McLaren cars then, which Japan a couple of years ago would be loving it, won't they? Of course, they were powered by the Honda Power U, the PU, weren't they? Between 2015 to 2018, wasn't it? But of course, unfortunately, that relationship didn't prove to be very fruitful, did it? And Harry is through in the qualifying free, fantastic performance there for the McLaren, and good stuff indeed then. So T Sammy then is out in 11th position then, so luckily for T Sammy, well, I think unluckily for T Sammy, but luckily he does start on whatever, he can start onto whatever tire he wants then, so that might be a bit of a might be a bit of a reprieve there for the world champion. And so Harry coming back into the pits now as well, and out qualifying also is Petty, but he's in 12th position, good stuff indeed. Hogg in 13th and Adstog in 14th position then as well. So that's the end of qualifying too then, and we'll go through the who's starting on what in just a jiffy as well, as Harry's coming back into the pits. Quite a frightful rate of knots. Goodness me, there he's really keeping on the pace. Lovely stuff indeed there for Harry. But yeah, good stuff then. And Rizzlesticks also through in the qualifying free once again then. So Rizzlesticks there, I think he also had a very good very good qualifying. I think it was in the Dutch Grand Prix if I'm not very much mistaken. He's had a couple of good qualifying performances, Rizzlesticks has now. Great seeing him back in there once again, and hopefully can he get some points there on the board for the Ferrari team. I think is that going to be his aim here tonight? It has to be his aim here tonight, doesn't it? Harry there is I think that he's just showing off now, isn't he, Harry? So he's very happy with life in that car at the moment, isn't he? He's through into qualifying free then. Lovely stuff indeed then. So we're just waiting for the countdown to tick down to the end of this qualifying 2 format, as I'm just enjoying Harry's quick laps as well, isn't it? I think he just wants to do a demonstration of this Japanese Grand Prix circuit, as going into turn 2 as well. I don't know anything about rain though. Of course, when you're here at Suzuka, you kind of also got to keep one eye on the weather, haven't you? As you think about racetracks, and I think a lot of them, sometimes you don't really need to worry about rain. Like for example, of course, in Bahrain and Abu Dhabi, you don't need to think about rain. Having said that, it did rain in Abu Dhabi this season, didn't it? Which was very unusual, wasn't it? I got to say, I've never seen it raining in Abu Dhabi before. I think it rained in qualifying, didn't it? Goodness me. But then you got like other racetracks, maybe like Belgium, for example. You got to always think about the weather there. Of course, Silverstone as well. Of course, being based in the UK, you always have rain one time or another during the day, and Austria as well, where it seems to always guaranteed to rain towards the end of that race. And say with this weather here then, there can be rain around here, and of course there's been some classic races around here in the wet, hasn't it? 94 was an incredible race, wasn't it? Of course it was very confusing with all the aggregate stuff going on, wasn't it? Because it was in 2 parts, wasn't it? And the FIA thought that they would just add the 2 times together to the end of it, which really didn't help anyone, did it? But Damon Hill, probably one of his best drives of his career. I got to say, I think that probably is beating Michael Schumacher, the rain master in the wet, was, I got to say, not an achievement to be taken lightly. It was fantastic, wasn't it? Anyway, enough about the history for the minute. Let's quickly go through the who's doing what for the race. So Steve's on medium tires for Maxi, for Val, and for Roscoe as well. Everyone else is on the soft tires. Out of qualifying, T Sammy, the champion, is out of qualifying. Of course, he had a big old shunt, didn't he, at the start of the S's, and that's where Mason also went off as well. So we've had 2 victims there at the beginning of the S's there. Unfortunately for T Sammy, he is out of qualifying. Penny in 12th position. We got Hogg in 13th, and Adstock is in 14th position as well. Mason is in 15th position there because he did get through the qualifying too, but unfortunately damaged his car, but he'll be in the race, so don't worry about that, fans. He'll be back in action then. Right, qualifying free then. We've got 10 cars. Who is going to be on pole position then for the Japanese Grand Prix? So far this season we have had I think we've had 5 poles, haven't we? We've had Max, who's been on pole position 4 times. Max is on pole position in the French Grand Prix, Chinese Grand Prix, Hungarian Grand Prix, and the Dutch Grand Prix. We have got Sprint, who is on pole position for Vietnam. Fantastic. Matt, who's on pole position at the last round, which is Singapore. And then we've had T. Sammy on pole position twice at Australia. And then he was on pole position and Abu Dhabi. And he was frightfully good in Abu Dhabi, wasn't it? And then we have Steve as well, who's also been on pole position twice at the Spanish Grand Prix. And then again at the Monaco Grand Prix as well. Then. So those are your pole sitters then. And in this qualifying session, who's been on pole position before? We've had 4 to 5 men who's been on pole position this season who's back in this session as well. And here's one of them now. It's Steve. I've been on pole position since the Monaco Grand Prix a couple of races ago. So can he stop the rot, so to speak, albeit it's only been a 2-race rot, hasn't it? As this is the 3rd race as the Monaco Grand Prix. Matt, interestingly enough, is on the soft medium tyre here. So I wonder if Matt's run out of tyres, perhaps. And of course, you only get a allocated set amount of tyres, don't you? They're not an endless supply of tyres, are they? And of course, in qualifying 3, you get a extra set of soft tyres there, which really encourages the some of the midfield teams there and some of the surprises to get from qualifying 2 into qualifying 3 to go out and have a bash and have a bite of the cherry, so to speak. Which is all good stuff indeed, isn't it? And so I think that it has worked out, hasn't it? More often than not then. At the moment then we've got Rizzle6, who's now at the pits, and we've still got Roscoe, who is in the pits at the moment then. So we've got 9 cars going for this shootout then, as we are now getting into the juicy end then of this qualifying performance as well. 10 minutes to go then, we are almost ready for the race as well. The race is about 15 minutes away, everyone then, so I hope you've got all your supplies ready then. Whatever you like to snack on then, or maybe even I'm not sure. It's a midnight snack, isn't it? Albeit it ain't a midnight snack, is it? It's a 9 o'clock snack, isn't it? So whatever you like to munch on during the evening, then I hope you've got that ready, because the race is coming up in the not too distant future. Then, of course, so we still got to form the top 10 then, and at the moment then, we've got all 10 cars out on circuit now, as they're all going for pole position. Then Steve wants a hat trick of pole position this season. We're on board with Steve now as he comes through the guests as well. Lovely stuff indeed. Then he builds up the hill as well. Great stuff indeed. Then yellow flags. Yellow flags in this session usually means it. Someone is just backing off, so you don't want to have any dirty air. Of course, you'd want to be the structure around here is literally next to useless, isn't it, really, apart from on the pit straight. But even then I think that it's probably best if you don't have anyone in front of you, really, because it's all about you, isn't it? All about you and your setup with the car. Steve comes through the hairpin as well, accelerates away, then back end is trying to overtake the front there from Steve then, as he couldn't get on the power as early likes them, but he's still on his way though, isn't he? And you can see, look at that, as he's touching 190 miles an hour then. Fantastic stuff, and into Spoon and dropping down into 5th gear. He's gone wide, he's gone very wide, he's overstepped there, and a great drift there, and I think Colin McRae will take his hat off there, but unfortunately Steve there, he's not going to be too happy like that, because in a Formula 1 car the quickest way is going forward, isn't it? You're always slowing in a Formula 1 car, but of course you kind of want to be in a forward motion rather than a sideways motion, don't you? Matt is now going to be the first man to cross the line then. Is Steve going to complete his lap? Rizzlesticks is gone, Rizzlesticks is out of qualifying, and that's a huge shock there. That's such disappointing. Steve continues his lap, then Matt is also gone to the grass as well. Rizzlesticks is out of qualifying. That is a huge disappointment which for the Rizzlesticks, and Sprint goes fast anyway. We're on board now, and it's the same corner as the last 3, so in every qualifying session we've had T. Sammy go, oh dear, and that's a mess from the Ferrari there. Oh, what a shame for Rizzlesticks then. So he'll be starting 10th for the moment, whilst his teammate has just gone faster with Timmy second fast moment as 27-1, a 27-3, 27-5, and the times are spread out at the moment, and see it's going for a second bite of chair as well. Harry is also then starting this up as well. Fizzy, who's been on form, has in the first 2 qualifying sessions, and unfortunately he's out of qualifying as well. Fizzy goes full fast motor, 27-9 at the moment, and I think there's more in the piggyback now for Fizzy then. Harry there, who's just come through the triangle chicane as well. What a shame for Rizzlesticks, isn't it? He'll be in 10th position now, but Rizzlesticks would be if Roscoe and Harry sets times. Harry has set a time then, so he will be 9th then, and he won't be any higher than that then, and that is such a shame, isn't it? But Rizzlesticks then in the top 10, so at least he got here, but unfortunately he would like to have took part there, so that's a big blow. So we're just watching Roscoe coming through the 130 yard now as well. Lovely stuff indeed there for Roscoe. Now into the triangle chicane as well then. Lovely stuff, very calm indeed then from the Scotsman. Here he comes then in the Red Bull, then accelerated away. He's ran out of deployment. Is that going to be enough? Wow, fantastic time for Roscoe. He is on the front row of the grid. Fantastic indeed. Then of course the rows on the 4-1 grid is 2 by 2 by 2, isn't it? Like Noah's Ark, of course. So of course so it'll be Maxi and Roscoe sharing it then. So just on board now as well. So Roscoe at the moment is second at the moment. Maxi will be coming into the pits now, and he is on pole position at the moment by just over 10th of a second actually in the Ferrari. Then Maxi is going for his 5th pole position then, and he is really starting to throw the gauntlet down, isn't he? Harry's going for a second time lap as well. As Gio has just said, evening peeps. Hello Gio, hope you're having a lovely day. As we're just watching Harry, who's 8.4 seconds up then on his previous best. And of course Harry had a bit of a problem, didn't he, on his first timed run then, so he's having a second time run now with 6 minutes to go. And this is quite a longish track, isn't it? It's about a minute and a half, isn't it, to get around here. So Harry's going to be cutting it very fine, and he goes across the line. He's 8th fastest motor. Matt is the slowest of the cars, but he was on the medium tyre. Fizzy then is 24 seconds down, and Roscoe is also 5 seconds down as well, as he is coming back into the pits now then. So then we've got less than 6 minutes good to determine who is going to be on pole position then for round number 11 of IRC Season 8 then, of course, as we're into the second half of the season then at the end of tonight's broadcast as well. And Bowden is soon up into the top 3 are separated by 18 points, and it's incredibly close, isn't it? Of course, last season T-Sammy had the championship very more or less marginally under control, hasn't he? This season now I don't think anyone has got it under control, not by a long shot. Here comes Matt coming on the pits as well. He was on pole position last time out as well, as now he's coming out of turn 2. Then we're on board then with Matt in the Alpha Tauri. We've also got Timmy out there as well, quite early on now. We've got 5 minutes to go then for these two, so I'm wondering if they fill up the car slightly more than just have 2 bites of the cherry there. The only drawback on that is though, of course, that he will have less fuel on the second time run, but the tyres would have already done one hell of a pounding on the opening lap there. And I've got to say, that's a cracking shot there to see a bit of the yaw on that Alpha Tauri, isn't it? Of course, Red Bull was the first team to really make the rake on the car very extreme, isn't it? Where the back end is sticking up, isn't it? And of course, it produces more downforce, I think, anyway. I'm not very good on the technical jazz and all that kind of jazz. So we're just into Spoon now as well. So Matt then is he's gone wide there, but as long as he does do it on his quick lap, it should be okay then. We have got 2 other cars out on track then. We've already spoke about Timmy, but Val is also, of course, this is debut season. Val is in IRC, and goodness me, he's more often than not, he's in qualifying 3. He's fantastic, isn't he? This man has got some talent on him, hasn't he? Here comes another man with a lot of talent there. Of course, the IRC founder as well. He's coming through the triangle chicane then before accelerating away, and he's about to start his lap then here in Japan then with just under 4 minutes to go, and DRS and right on the bubble, right on the money, and here he goes, and he starts his lap now. So we're coming up into turn 1 then. Turn 1's more of a entry point for turn 2, really, isn't it? As of course, turn 1 is not really. You brake. I think you brake sharply into turn 1, then you kind of try and carry as much speed through turn 2, don't you? And then the rest. Then of course, yes, as we already mentioned, there is a very it's a very important part of the lap. We've already seen 3 cars who've hit the barriers out in all three practice sessions, all 3 qualifying sessions, I should say. And we might have seen it in practice as well. But of course, these guys have been practicing they had an hour-long practice session before the start of qualifying, before the start of the broadcast here tonight, didn't they? And I'm wondering if it's a very tight it's a very old-school track, isn't it, around here? Those yellow flags floating around. It's a very old school track around here. Lovely shot there from the left hand side of the car. A very old school track around here. So if you're going to hit some video, go off. You're going to hit something very hard indeed, isn't it? We've unfortunately lost 3 drivers because of that. We've got another yellow flag as well, because one of the Mercedes is having issues. Val has had some major issues as he damaged the car. Let's take a look then. As he is off again then, Val is. Hopefully, he has damaged the car. That's a big blow, isn't it? Matt is about to set his first time on these soft tires then as well. With 2.5. He's abandoned the lap, Matt has, with 2 minutes to go then. 2.5 minutes. Has he got enough time to come in and come back out? Timmy there is carrying on. He's 3 tenths a second up. That's pole position there. He's done a 26.880 there for the McLaren driver. fantastic. He's only ever had one pole position in his career in IRC. Well, at the moment, no, he is currently top of the tree, top of the timesheet as well. And I think that there's a Ferrari that has just popped out in front of us. Here is the man who was on pole position, who wants to snatch it back. Can he do it then? Here we go. This is going to get good, isn't it? Val is having major issues there, isn't he? So that is a shame enough for the Mercedes driver. I don't think he's got enough time to come in and come back out. So that is a huge blow, isn't it? Fizzy is starting to stop as well. Then as there's an AlphaTauri behind him with Sprint. And Matt is still in the pit side. Is he going to be able to have enough time? I don't think he's got enough time, has he? Unless he finds a shortcut. As you know, he's still in the pit side. So that's a shame, isn't it? We've also lost Val as well. So Val, Fizzy there, almost half spinning there, coming out of Dunlop. Goodness me, then that was quite frightful, wasn't it? There he's coming into the second Dunlop as well. 2/10 of a second up in the second intermediate split. Sorry, the first intermediate split time. Under the crossover as well. Now coming into the hairpin. Yellow flags is fluttering as well, accelerating out the hairpin and getting on the power nice and early there for Fizz there. He wants to make sure that he's keeping the momentum in that car. And now flicking it through the very gentle kink of the left-hander as well. Up into Spoon now as well then. Taking all the, giving the track a wide old berth there as well. Fizz is run wide then. Is that going to compromise the exit? He's on the AstroTurf there. He's giving it all on then. So obviously now powering up the hill as he's coming up into the 130 as well then. Hold on to your hats everyone. Hold on to your helmets. This is going to be flying. Look at that. Not even a lift there or a break. Incredible stuff there. Into the triangle chicane as well. And look at this then. He's gone over the curve there. He's also gone wide at the exit as well. So he's compromised himself. It's a bit of a scrappy lap for Fizzy there. He's 2/10 of a second up though. I think he was overdriving there. Maxie's out of qualifying. Oh my goodness me, the championship leaders had some issues there. Steve is starting his lap now. And we got Sprint also starting his lap. Then Matt has come out of the pit set. He is under the crossover. I reckon. I wonder if my time's slightly out there. Harry coming over the line as well. He is 6th fast. He is got in between the two Mercedes. And Fizzy is currently 5th fastest at this moment in time. Then and Sprint is just coming over the hills as well. Then who is the furthest man around? Then I think it's actually Steve, isn't it? It is Steve indeed. Then he's down in 8th position, isn't he? And I was quite surprised to be seeing that. Then because Steve has been pretty competitive in this stage event so far. Last time in Singapore, I don't think Steve was struggling qualifying, wasn't he? And in the race as well, he was struggling. But of course, tonight he is very much on it like a car bonnet, isn't he? Mercedes getting out of the way there. That is Fizzy. I think he is done and dusted in this qualifying session. Unfortunately, Matt then is coming through the chicane as well. Keep an eye on Matt. I think the timer has ticked down on mine. I'm wondering if I've de-sunk a bit then, which it's a shame. I don't really sink at all, do I? As I do float. As Matt then has completed his time then, so yeah, my time is slightly up then. As now then Steve then is going over the crest of the hill now, coming up into the 130 yarder. He's almost at the point. He's 1.2 seconds up there in the second intermediate split time. Fantastic there from Steve then. He's been on pole position twice this season, accelerated out then, and here he goes then into the final part of lap. And what's he going to do then? Look at this, he's hugging the inside. He's 4th fastest, but it's Timmy who is still on pole position. Well then, Roscoe is I think Sprint is finishing 4th position there. Roscoe coming across the line. He is 5th fastest then. Harry then is now we've got 2 more men then to come through. Then Harry is coming through now. And here is he going to cut improve his time by the minutest of margins. Matt is to 9/10 of a second up in the first split time. And he there break the heart of Timmy. Timmy hasn't been on pole position for almost 2 seasons now, but he's on pole position at the moment, and that'll be our 6th pole sitter of the season. Mouseward is on pole position last of all there. He's really loving this part of the season so far, isn't he? Can he now get himself back into pole position once again? He's climbing up the hill as well then. This is it then. It's Timmy. It's Matt. It's Matt's 2nd pole position of the season, or is it Timmy's 1st pole position of the season since Canada? Here he comes in. He is now Matt coming down into the triangle chicane as well, and he's run slightly wide then, compromised the second part of the chicane then, but he's carrying on then. Good stuff indeed then. The fuel light is flashing. DRS. It is 6th fastest for Matt, but it's not pole position because the pole sitter is just sat in the pits there with his feet up because he is on pole position then for the Japanese Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff there from Timmy. Oh wow, really good stuff indeed then. And that was absolutely great. So then we only caught the end of the Timmy's lap there, didn't we, unfortunately, because I think we was focusing on the car in front then. But right at the end then, Timmy is the only one to break into the 26. It's a brilliant 17 there for Timmy. He is going to be on an all-time high, but he shares the front row with the formidable with the formidable Maxi, who is leading the championship at the moment now. But he has Steve a lot right behind him as well. Steve is on the cleaner part of the circuit there, isn't it? Remember, there's a big old hoo-ha, wasn't there, Butler in 1990 was it? Yeah, it was 1990, wasn't it, between Senna and Prost there, of course, where the pole position was on the wrong side of the grid, wasn't it, from Senna's point of view. But yeah, what an end to qualifying. That was fantastic. It really was. I really enjoyed that. That was brilliant stuff indeed then. So we're just watching then Matt coming into the pits then as well. So he's finishing this lap now. That was a cracking qualifying. I'm very happy for Timmy, who has done an absolutely brilliant. He's done an absolutely incredible qualifying session, hasn't he? Really good stuff indeed then. Now then we're just now that's the end of qualifying, and then on pole position then Timmy by 3 tenths of a second, then Maxi is second. He didn't get a second run in. Steve moving up to third in the end then, and just a whisker behind Maxi. Sprinting fourth position. Look how close the second, third and fourth are. It's a whisker, isn't it? Fantastic. Fifth position is Roscoe. Matt in sixth position. Fizzy seventh. Harry eighth then. Val ninth, and unfortunately Rizzle Sticks having issues. Both Ferraris ending up in the same place there in 10th position there on the circuit, unfortunately then. Right then, here we go then. This is going to be the start of the Japanese Grand Prix now. Really good stuff indeed then. Of course, and I know England's on tonight as well, so I think a lot of you will be keeping it on. And also keep me up to date as well, of course. And of course, let's just say, come on England, is all I can say. But of course, and I do not play any favourites at IRC there, but it's great to see Timmy on pole position then for the It's great to see Timmy on pole position actually for the Japanese Grand Prix. Really good stuff indeed there. Right then, now we are getting ready for the race itself then, and this is going to be a difficult race, isn't it? This is an old school track. The barriers are very close to the circuit, isn't it? If you go off, you're going to go off in a big way, and you will be out. We've already lost 4 cars in qualifying. Both Ferraris are out. We also lost the Mason C, of course, and only a second Grand Prix start for IRC, and unfortunately for him, but yep, hopefully he can dust himself down and get himself back on it as well then. So really good stuff indeed then. So here we go then, as the countdown is ticking on then. The strategies are all locked into place now. We're in park for May. No more changing of the setups then. Now here we go. We're on the grid then for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's 27 laps, not 26. My apologies. Right then, as let's go for the grid show from front to back, from pole position then down to 19th, and as Val and Fizzy have come to blows, and both Mercedes already come to blows, and they've been disqualified from the formation lap, and that is quite a pivotal part of the race then, because their tyre temperature is not going to be as high as these guys, are they? And that is a big blow indeed. So both Mercedes have really shot themselves on the foot, so to speak, haven't they? So that's not good at all. So that is a big old blow, isn't it, for Fizzy and Val? Of course, Fizzy won this race last season there with the probably the best IRC race in history, possibly, along with the elite race, but in the Belgian Grand Prix of season 2 as well. That was also my personal favourite as well then. So going through Degner 2 then, Timmy is on pole position. He's on the soft tyres as well, so he's going to get more of a better launch than, of course, the soft tyres there, and more of the grippier tyres. Maxi is alongside Monroe, won the championship leader. He's got a 16-point lead over T. Sammy, but third position is Steve. He's 18 points behind Maxi. Sprinting fourth position then, he is on soft tyres. Roscoe in fifth then. Matt is in sixth then, with Fizzy and Harry 7th and 8th position. They're all on soft tyres. Val is in at 9th position. He's on the medium tyres. Rizzle Sticks is in 10th position now, and getting a swapper on there, going through the hairpin. T. Samidar out of qualifying too, unfortunately, but he's on the medium tyres. He gets to choose whatever tyres he wants to start on, and there's a Renault going right off the track then. Penny in 12th position. We got Hogg, who is in 13th position, and good 17th there for Hogg. 14th position is Asdog in the Alfa Romeo. 15th position as we got disqualifications. 15th position is Mason. 16th is Double. 17th is Gaz. 18th position is JJ, and PB is in 19th position. 19 cars in, and gotta say, it's a bit of a frightful formation lap, hasn't it? As we've got a lot of disqualifications going on. Goodness gracious me then. Right then, I'm going to take a deep breath now as well, because I got to say I'm very unfit. I'm already sweating my sweating my old t-shirt off. Oh gosh, and it's actually quite nippy. I think it was only 14 degrees earlier. I got to start to get on an old extra coat then as well. I've got a lot of layers on me anyway, so I don't really need a coat normally. But yeah, today it has been a bit nippy as winter is coming, as Jon Snow would say. As I'm also trying to be cool as well, because I have no earthly idea about Game of Thrones and all that kind of jazz. But there you go then. Recently I've only just discovered a lot of cool documentaries on Netflix, but of course I do recommend it. If any of you Formula 1 fans out there, you've probably watched already, but Drive to Survive Season 1 and 2, great watch as well. And of course the team principal, this car here, he's a new star, isn't he? Right, PB then is not going to be interested in the Drive to Survive series. All he's interested in is lining up on the grid then. Timmy, his first pole position since Canada. That is 2 seasons ago almost. Fantastic stuff from Timmy, and he is on the soft tyres as well then. Right then, as the revs will be building that, then we're waiting for those lights in as well, as here we go then for the Japanese Grand Prix. And yep, there's the lights haven't come on. Now they are then. We got 4, we got 5, and there's a pause, and we are go. Yes, we are go here at the Japanese Grand Prix, the land of the rising sun, and Timmy gets a good start, but Maxi's almost alongside him going into turn 1. He is alongside into turn 1, and there's almost a collision there. Max will have the inside, then let's see his first position. Now Maxi has taken the lead then, as Timmy's gone wide down into the second part then. Great 17 then, Fizzy in full position. We've got a yellow flag in the back then. What has gone on then? Penny has dropped down the order then, but Maxi leads, fantastic. Second is Timmy, third is Steve, Sprint in full position then, Fizzy 5th, Roscoe in 6th position, Matt 7th, Harry in 8th position, Rizzle sticks in 9th, and Val down in 10th position. Oh, Rizzle's off, and he's spinning. Oh, goodness me, then coming out of Dunlop there. And the Ferrari there facing the wrong way, unfortunately, for Rizzle sticks there. And that is a big blow, isn't it? So, as we already mentioned there about Alessi and Raikkonen in 2001 there, big smash there, didn't they? Unfortunately, as the accelerator, well, then good stuff indeed then. Yannis said, let's have a great race. Good luck, guys. Well, unfortunately, it's been a bit of a appalling start for Penny and for Rizzle sticks as well, as they fly underneath me now, as I come up into the spoon corner as well. And great stuff indeed. And we're on board then with Tim and Orna, yellow flags. Asdog's gone. Asdog, just like last season, has had some issues there. And it's the fast. Well, I was saying that corner was not very difficult. Well, Asdog has had a big smash, and that is a virtual safety car. Everyone must adhere to the Delta, which is on their steering wheel as well. And so, of course, it's like putting all the cars on the same scale electric lane, and they all go in the same pace head. Of course, that's the best analogy I can find there. And of course, I heard it from Crofty, of course, David Croft there. So they're overtaken down the midfield, and they don't think they should be there. So there's a couple of naughty boys there. As Maxi, it's out. Oh no, yeah, he's okay. I thought he was dropping down the order there. He is dropping down the order according to the according to the old tower on the left hand side. That's why you should never trust technology, everyone. And of course, it's being in IT and all that. Yeah, do not trust it at all. So it's just watching, and Fizzy DRS has been enabled. Then we're back racing here in Suzuka. Lovely shots here from Fizzy. Ignore the tower for the minute. Then as the tower is just trying to get itself going. Then of course the tower is the classification on the left hand side there. So we're on board with the pole sitter, who's currently second in the standings as it stands at the moment then, and going into Degner 1 as well then. So look at this then, flicking through nicely indeed then. So now then going under the crossover, as we already mentioned, then this is the only race there where we have a figure of 8 circuit there where you go underneath each other. And of course, so it's a very unique feature, isn't it? Yellow flag in 1 then, because we've now lost. Oh my goodness me! There's been an incident. There's been a major incident there, and it's Penny and PB have come to blows there, similar to Fizzy Keller, and not Fizzy Keller, similar to Raikkonen, and of course Jean Alesi in 2001. Oh goodness me! And of course that was the end of Jean Alesi's career, wasn't it? Really, as he was retiring in that race there. Oh, but this is not good at all, is it? So we had a major incident there at the Dunlop there, and that's the whole wing section got off of that racing point, so he's going to have to go in the pits there. Penny is there, and PB out of this race as well, and that's unfortunate for PB. Up until a few weeks ago, he's had a very good season, wasn't he? But unfortunately there, he's now racking up a couple of DNFs, isn't he? Maxi is now leading the race, and Billy has got the soft shot. Timmy, who is right behind him as well. Best starters at the moment is Double and Gaz that are up 12th and 13th position, and they're up 4 positions there. Fantastic stuff. It's fast up there for T7, and he is in the world champion. It's actually in an position at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed then, as we're climbing up the hill as well. Lovely, great stuff to have you along with us here tonight, guys. As we're having all kinds of shenanigans into turn 1. Oh my goodness me, double up in the 13th, and Gaz is 14th, and Mason dropping down into 15th position, but he is on the harder tyre, of course, then. And the of course, then medium tyres is the medium step in the soft and the hard range there, of course. As we got to T Sammy, who's moved past Hog now and up into 10th position. And T Sammy, of course, he was second here last season, the traditional and the signature green Howitt there of the Greek driver as well, then, as he is coming into the hairpin as well. Lovely shot there from T Sammy, and of course I hope all you fans of T Sammy are enjoying the coverage at the moment, because it's been fantastic, hasn't it, so far. It hasn't been fantastic for the Greek fans, so has it, because T Sammy is down in 10th position at the moment, but of course T Sammy there, he's when he's down, he's never up though, is he? He comes back fighting, doesn't he, as we're now powering up the hill as well. Max at the moment is less than a second away from Timmy at the moment, and Steve is also keeping tabs on them as well, as they're flying through the 130 yard there. Roscoe going slightly off the course there, isn't it? Of course, it used to be such a formidable corner there, a bit like Eau Rouge in Belgium, but unfortunately that is not the case anymore. Coming through the complete lap 3 now. Mac now see us at the fast side of the race. Look at the top 3 then, they're starting to pull away now from Fizzy, who is the second back. Fizzy's had a fantastic start, he's moved up into 4th. Lovely stuff indeed there from Fizzy. And now we got T Sammy there, who's flying by, isn't he? That car is very slippery in a straight line, isn't it? Goodness me, it's just breezed by the Mercedes of Val. Of course, Val is going to be on the back foot after a difficult formation lap as well. Just watching Harry, who's in that 8th position mode there. He's about a second away from that, and 2 seconds in front of Val as well. Rizzo has gone back up into 15th position. He's trying to come back through the field there, as Fizzy's had issues. Fizzy's had some major issues. Oh, it's a Dunlop again then, and that's a Mercedes there. Fizzy, the race winner from last season's, having issues here tonight. He has damaged the end plate as well. The understeer is going to be appalling. He's going to have to come into the pits and change that nose cone now on the Mercedes, and what a shame now for Fizzy there. And oh dear, and of course the man who won this race last night, of course, got moments of the season as well. Unfortunately, this is not going to be a moment that he is going to be savouring at the moment, is he? Roscoe then coming into Spoon as well, and he is keeping tabs on Sprint at the moment. Of course, we've already mentioned in the qualifying show about Sprint being absolutely fantastic, hasn't he, this season? His first pole position, his first race win as well. Surely the next has to be the championship for Sprint, isn't it? And I think maybe not this season, but definitely next season. He would definitely think about that, won't he? Of course, he is leading the constructors, isn't he, along with Matt there, as Matt and Sprint have proven to be a formidable team, aren't they? Really good stuff indeed. Then hopping over the curbs as well then. Maxie has got another fast lap as well. Lovely stuff indeed. Lovely shot here from the nose cone over Roscoe's. We're looking back now. Look at the suspension there, going up and down. Beautiful stuff indeed then, as we flicker into turn 1 as well then. And that is a cracking shot indeed then. It just shows how hard these cars are worked then, isn't it? Even on the smooth track of Japan. As a double is just got to length as well, because Fizzy is in the pit set, and he is changing those tyres, and he's on the medium tyres now. Penny has gone to the hard tyres, down in 17th position at the moment. Then we didn't see what happened to what happened there, but Penny unfortunately having some major issues there, and unfortunately he's almost a minute behind Fizzy as it stands at the moment. We're only on lap 5 for everyone. Of course, there we do have safety cars that could come into play in this on this track there. Remember last season, I think a safety car really spiced up towards the end, and which really made this race fantastic to watch, wasn't it? And accelerating away out the hairpin now as Harry is. Harry was all over the back on one stage or another there, but unfortunately he's dropped back again, hasn't he? Roscoe at the moment there is in the Spoon corner again, then on those medium tyres as well. He is still in DRS range, of course. If anyone who's new to Formula 1, then that is the drag reduction system. That is the little like envelope box there. There it is. Of course, it is not in action just yet then, but of course that rear wing opens there, reduces the drag, and of course you're only allowed to activate when you're in 1 second of the car in front there. And at the moment, Steve was 1 second in the car in front, but he's had a bit of an opposite handful of lock there, and he is still in DRS. There it is. That is the Haas rear wing has opened, and lovely stuff indeed there for Steve as he comes over the grid hatchings, and it's quite powerful around here, isn't it? Because you've got a big old barge pole on the back of your car. I don't mean it literally, I mean those rear wings there. They're very steep, aren't they? Of course, as you need a lot of downforce, don't you? For this part of the circuit here is your turning left, turning right, turning left, turning right then. And of course, that's very oversimplified, isn't it? As what a Formula 1 driver can do. And that's as best I can explain it, because I'm a very simple man. JJ is actually very close to the back of a double now, isn't he? We're on board, JJ. Williams haven't scored a point yet in the in the season so far, unfortunately. And of course, I think JJ is once again is the only representative of Williams, and it's yellow flags. That's a Renault. It's Hogg. Hogg has had some issues there. Has he damaged the car? Of course, he has got away with it. Oh goodness me, he's on the gravel once again, and Hogg is those soft tires are going to be screaming hot, and he needs to cool them down as quickly as possible so he can get back on the pace as well. Talking of pace at the moment, I wonder if those soft tires. Look at the opposite lock there from Steele. He's really pushing that car to the limit and beyond. Is fantastic, isn't it? And now he's right behind Timmy then as well. DRS and is not enabled on this back straight, and of course this is the only place where they'll be able to put the DRS, and there's only one DRS zone on this circuit. They try and get 3 now in the in every other race, don't they? But unfortunately Monaco and here they only have 2, don't they? I think so in Monza actually only have no, sorry, they only have 1. They only have 2 in Monza, don't they, as well? I think they have 3 in Australia, don't they? And they also have 3 in Singapore, which is the last race we went to. And look at this, and Steve is deploying overtaking. You see that green bar, he's on the inside there. Steve passes Timmy and he moves over to second position. Now has he got the pace to get after the championship leader Maxi? The gap is 2 seconds as it stands at the moment. Then let's see what he can do in that Haas, and he's going to turn out the wick now. Steve he is in clear air. He hasn't got Timmy's dirty air coming out the back of that McLaren, so he can now then really push on then as well. T Sammy is also starting to really lot of the time sheets as well. Here he is, and in the Alfa Romeo he is 8th fastest, 8th at the moment now, and he is behind Harry at the moment. And this Dunlop turn is causing a real problem for the cars, for the drivers, isn't it? 20 laps to go there. We've lost 2 cars there. We've lost Asdog, unfortunately, just like last season here as well. As, I'm sure he's in the race last season as well, before he retired. And of course he's lost PB as well. Penny down in 70th position. Fizzy, the last year's race winner, also down in the doldrums as well. He's down in 16th position as well as they accelerate out of the hairpin. Lovely stuff indeed then. So we're on board then with T Salmon, and of course he is the world champion as it stands at the moment then, but he is going to be losing more ground to the top 2, which is currently Steve and Maxi, so he's going to lose second position if it finishes as it is at the moment. Now coming up the hill once again and into the 130 yard end, and look at T Salmon, and he hasn't even got the overtake, has he? That is just the slipstream there. That's the good old fashioned slipstream of a Formula 1 car. Of course, the DRS only came into sport in 2011. Pit lane and into the pits. There comes Timmy there. He's in the pits there for the McLaren, and what tires is he going to go on then? So the Mercedes then are getting put to work there as well, and so T Sammy has dropped right behind, and then look at that. Then he's in and out quicker than the blink of an eye, then quicker than the hiccup. He is out of the pits now then, and Hogg is going to get by as well. So has Timmy got some clear air? He has a lot of clear air actually behind Hogg, and this is beautifully done there for the McLaren team. Brilliant stuff there. Now he has got clear air, and he can maybe put the undercut on as well. As we've got JJ in the pits as well. Then Mason is going to be feeling the squeeze from Sticks. He's on the outside, Mason's on the inside, wow! And he also cuts the grass for good measure as well. Russell Sticks is now up into 12th position then. His comeback drive is looking phenomenal at the moment, Russell Sticks is, isn't he? He hasn't got any points so far to his name, but hopefully he can get some points on the board later, on the board here tonight, can he? T Salmon Moner is 6 tenths of a second away from Harry as it stands then, on board then with the world champion, and he is about 6 tenths of a second away from Harry, isn't he? Harry is almost 3 seconds beyond Matt. Roscoe is putting the paces on sprint as well, so those are the closest battles on track at the moment. So Timmy is the first man to come in the pits. So Timmy and JJ are the first 2 guys to come into the pits on the come in the pits for some scheduled stoppage, and so they're now on the hard tires. Can they get to the end of the race? And that's going to be 20 odd laps then. And look at this, and as you can see, there's always T Sammy's having a look on the inside. Max is at the fast half of the race. He's gone for the switch. He's gone up and out. Oh, there's contact. Oh goodness me, there's contact. No damage was made there. Oh dear, but I don't think Harvey too impressed that he's into the pits there. Of course, we've had contact there before. I mean, I think Sato went barrel into someone. I think it was Ralph Schumacher, wasn't it, in 2005? I just remember Toyota being there. Penny is out of the race then. Where is he gone then? And oh dear, Penny's out of the race. He got a safety car. And where is I'm trying to see where Penny is. That is so, oh dear, and that's not good at all, is it? And yes, he's gone off with the S's there, and that is a big blow, is it? So safety car is out there. Remember, just like last season, that really spiced things up here, and it's done it again, hasn't it? Oh, what a shame there for Penny. He is out of the race then. So who is going to be in the pits then? Well, I would say everyone is. Russell Sticks is in the pits now. He's on the hard tires. Russell Sticks is. Mason coming in the pits as well. Then is the Racing Point. Don't look like that. Looks like they serving a penalty here, or is there a couple of issues that looks like the Racing Point guys weren't ready there. I think they were snoozing a bit, won't they? But Mason going to be too impressed with that. Then we also got Gas coming in the pits as well and changing those tires. He's on the hard tires now for the Red Bull, and he's in and out in a jiffy there as well. Then. So the safety car, I don't think it should shake things up too much in this race, should it? As Maxi there is is a Hog is Is Hog got? No, he hasn't. I don't know why the arrows are just pointing green there, so I'm very confused. As normal, I'm always confused in this line of work. So safety cars out at the moment, then. So of course that will start neutralise the race. Then whilst Penny's car is cleared, and as Penny is out of the race, and that's unfortunate for Penny in his 10th start. And that's in his 10th start. That is his 6th DNF of the season. Then for Penny, then he's having a bit of a difficult start to seasonal B. He has got 6 points on the board there for the Racing Point. Maxi is in the pits. Steve is in the pits as well. Then is anyone going to not come in the pits at this stage of proceedings? The question is that Matt is actually backed off, and of course as because he doesn't want to be held up by his teammate as well. So Sprint then is changing those tires now. He's on the hard tires as Matt going to as a T Sammy has stayed out, and so T Sammy has rolled the dice. He stayed out then. Now and look at this, it's the Alpha tire just getting to work then, so he might have lost a half a second or so, but of course then I think that was he doesn't look like he's lost track position as such. Harry has of course had to pit when it was a full race conditions going on, so he has lost a bit. He's lost quite a bit of time actually, hasn't he, by pitting a lap earlier then. So that is so sometimes it's just about getting the rub of the green, isn't it, in this sport. Unfortunately Timmy didn't have that, did he? Of course the man who's on pole position. It's going to be a race there. Of course it's race until turn 1 then. Hog has got out there just in front of Harry in 10th position then. Double coming out the pits as well, and he should be out quite clearly in front of JJ as well. JJ, like Harry, like Timmy, JJ came on the pit earlier on, and because of that then he has lost position to Double as well. Look, there is Double. He's in 11th position, and Double in a very strong position at the moment, albeit he has gone to the medium tires. Double has that, and that was his plan from the get-go. Double is he let me into on a little secret, and I'm very proud that I kept his secret up until that point in time then. So yeah, Double is going on to the medium tires then, and that might be an interesting development in this racing later on then. So then let's take stock then. It's the safety cars out there. Burt Minelander is leading them around at the moment, so they got a line up behind the safety car like a crocodile, and of course they'll be weaving them from left to right there to get those tires up to temperature then. So then at the moment then it's T Sammy. He's starting them from the grid. He's leading this race then, but he's been on those tires for 9 laps then. His championship rivals Maxi and Steve are second and third then. Very interesting. So the sprint in 4th position. Roscoe in 5th then. Timmy is in 6th then. He's dropped down a couple positions because of the pitting earlier on then. Matt in 7th position there. 8th position is Val. 9th position is Hog. Harry in 10th position. Double in 11th position. He's on the medium tires. He's the only one to go on the alternative strategy here. JJ in 12th position. Rizzle Sticks is in 13th. Mason is in 14th. Fizzy is also in 15th position, and Gas is in 16th position. We're on board the Red Bull driver now as well, as he's now coming into Spoon End. So we've got 17 laps in to go around this circuit. We're going to be under the safety car for at least one more lap, of course. Safety car is usually quite it often does make an appearance around here, doesn't it? Of course, 2005, let's just go back to the history again. 2005, the incredible race in Japan there. Kimi Räikkönen, 18th on the grid, I believe, or 17th. I think he was 18th, actually. Come from the, almost, 18th on the grid there. And he won the race on the last lap by overtaking Giancarlo Fisichella there. And I got to say, Fisichella must have actually been deflated about that, really, mustn't he? Such a shame as well, because I think at the beginning of that season, Fisichella started off really well. So got pole position and the race win in Australia. And I think that was his only race win in the season as well. I think he only won one race again in 2006 as well for Fisichella, which is such a shame now, wasn't it, for the Italian driver, because he was destined to be a star, wasn't he? Especially in '97, he was tipped to be a very multiple race winner, which he was, but I don't think he lived up to his potential, did he? Especially when he was flying high for the Jordan team in '97 as well. Just on board then, a lovely shot there as he's on board then with Gaz then, as he is in 16th position moment. So we're on board with Gaz, and this is what it feels like to be at the back of the crocodile under the safety car. But you have stopped for tires. The only person that hasn't stopped for tires is T Sammy. Remember the rule in Formula 1 is, of course, back in the early 90s where there was no fuel stops, where you could just do whatever you want with strategy there. Not these days, as of course you have to make one mandatory stop, of course, and that is by fitted on both two different types of compounds, whether that's the medium and the softs, or the medium and the hards, or the softs and the mediums there, which might be what Double's doing at the moment. And let's see if that strategy works out as well. Then, so he's the only man to do that at this stage. Then, but I wonder if T Sammy might be thinking about doing a similar strategy. It's very difficult to overtake around here, well, because there's only one DRS zone, isn't there, around Suzuka. Of course, Suzuka is infamous around the world, isn't it? Of course, it's one of the best racetracks in the world, isn't it? And every driver loves this circuit, don't they? Safety car lights are still on this stage, and so interesting stuff. Then I was expecting the safety car to be in at the end of this lap, then, but this is just helping the lights of Double, for example, because he's now extending that tire stint just a couple more, isn't it? I'm wondering if but Double is very good at looking after those tires, isn't he? Might have the strategy to do it. Might have the setup to do it, of course. So yes, do not count Double out of getting some major pointage for the Renault team as well. Double, who hasn't scored a point, I don't think, this season. So that'll be great to see getting Double in the points as well. So just on board with T Sammy run, and so T Sammy knows he's going to have he's got older tires as well, and he's got Maxi behind him and Steve are on fresh hard tires as well. Then of course they're going to take a bit more weaving to get up to temperature than the medium tires, of course, because the hard tires are much more difficult to warm up because of course they are harder. So Maxi will have that advantage, but I'm wondering then Maxi's got to be very clever on the it's going to have to be very clever, isn't he, on the start there. I did mention about it's very hard to overtake then, so I wonder if that's Maxi's play here then of really just keeping the leaders as far into the race as he can there, and they come out onto those soft tires later on. Then that might be the idea for T Sammy, as we got Jan saying, "Come on guys, let's race again then." And yes, I think the race control needs to hear Jan's cries there, because we need to get back racing here as the safety cars stayed up for a lap extra than what it needs to have done, really. So we've got a lap less racing around Suzuka, which is a bit disappointing, isn't it? But I'm sure though that might that would definitely help me and my throat, I think, by the end of this one, because I usually the last season I've got to say I did sound like I was a very heavy smoker. I got to say my throat was sounding very rough at the end of that one. Oh goodness me! Then right then is we're now then getting to the now hopefully we'll have a magical message of safety car is in at the end of this lap. Then we're on board with Gaz once again then, as we're in the Red Bull. Then this is Gaz's second race there in the IRC. Then it looks like he is there. And that is the beautiful message we want to see down at the bottom. Race control, safety car is in the end of this lap. Then Gaz is still in overtake for some reason now, so I'm wondering what's going on with that Red Bull then. Is he stuck in overtake then? I heard a couple of horror stories about that right at the beginning of this game then. Hopefully Gaz hasn't got that now then. That's going to really be difficult, isn't it? Because you lose a lot of energy, don't you? Because these are hybrid engines. We'll be back racing then here in Japan then, and it's go once again. And look at T Sammy, he's got absolute launch over Maxi, but stays alongside Maxi. He's alongside him. He's going on the outside. He takes second position. Maxi's had the pole start, and the championship leader's gone from second to third there. And of course, he was in this race comfortably up until the safety car came out. Now Steve is in prime position at the moment then, and then T Sammy then, and that is perfect for T Sammy, isn't it? It's brilliant stuff indeed. Then looking down the order as well, we got a good old battle between Matt and Val for 7th and 8th position. We're on board there with the Mercedes trying to take a correction of the car, as we got yellow flags. There is Gaz then, who is still in overtake. I'm not sure. I think there's a problem there for Gaz in the Red Bull. He's having issues there, isn't he, with the overtake, and so hopefully Gaz can get that sorted there. But that is a big hindrance, isn't it? Going into the hairpin as well, and before accelerating out, then Steve's had the perfect start there. He got the jump on Maxi, and he's up into second position. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Lovely shot here from the Haas car as well, and as he is now flicking it up into Spoon as well. And he has got 10 laps younger tires as Fizzy has got past Mason, and he's up in the 14th position then, as Fizzy's now got to come back through the field, hasn't he? Remember, he's a Suzuka specialist. Now can he get some major points? And Rizzlesticks has gone wide out of the exit. Spoon there, and Fizzy was trying to stick his nose on the inside, but Rizzlesticks had that covered. And look up in front of us, and we've got JJ and Double Air. Double Air is trying to break the slipstream as we go through the 1/3 30 yard. I've also got, look at Fizzy behind. Fizzy is less than a 10th of a second. He's gone up the inside. Is he passed? He is passed. He's gone in too deep. No, Fizzy has. And oh dear. So is Fizzy going to let the car by? No, he hasn't. He's carrying on then as well. He missed the apex there. Back in front there as well. We've got T Sammy Hussein then. Steve is in second position at the moment then. Good stuff indeed. Then we've got Hog, who's now only 2/10 of a second away from Val at the moment in the battle for 8th and 9th position as well. Brilliant as we're powering up the hill then. Gotta say, T Sammy is not under too much pressure at the moment. It's actually Steve's under the pressure of Maxi at the moment. Not T Sammy on Steve as well. We're on board now with the championship leader in the Ferrari as Rizzle Sticks is off and he's out of this race and he has gone off in the that's a safety car and oh dear then. So Rizzle Sticks is in the barrier, he's out of the race and that's the Ferrari out, and we got a safety car, sorry, we got a full safety car on lap 14 then. And just like last year we had 2 in quick succession, and once again we got 2 in quick succession. Gas has got a penalty there for driving for speed on the safety car there, and he is it's the Grand Board gas now then, and he's having some major issues there in that red Bull, isn't he? It's a tough old track, this, isn't it? It's cruel, isn't it? And it's cruel for the 4 drivers there that is retired from the race then, of Asdog, PB, Penny and Rizzle Sticks, the latest casualty in this race at the moment as we're popping over the crest of the hill. Oh dear then. Yeah, so that's not good for the 4 driver. Is a T Sammy going to come in the pits then? So the safety car I think will be out for at least 2 laps here, maybe even 3. So I'm wondering then, 10 laps on those soft tires. This might be an opportune time to come in the pits then. And he is in the pits then, so T Sammy is now coming into the pits there, probably a bit earlier than what he wanted then. So then what tires is he going to go on then? The world champion then, there is the Alfa Romeo team now coming out of the pits there. There's only one Alfa Romeo left. I'll start out of the race then. And what tire is he going to go on? He is on the soft tires, and similar to double strategy we believe then, but the other way around then. So T Sammy is on the soft tires and he's coming out of the pits now, and a double is in the pits then, and a double is now on the hard tires, and so double has abandoned that strategy unfortunately, and it's such a shame for Double. I don't think he had any issues there, so I think Double might have had some issues, might have had some other issues there. He's down to 15th. T Sammy is on the soft tires, the unman on the soft tires, so he is going to be quicker than a hiccup, isn't he, in the final stage of this race as well then. So yeah, so T Sammy there coming into the pits, and the world champion, he's got a lot of overtaking to do, hasn't he? But he's got those tires to do it, hasn't he? And are those tires going to last to the end of this race then? He's got less fuel now. I think the soft tires are on there, I think they last only 7 or 8 laps then, but with less fuel on the car, less pressure on the brakes, less pressure on the tires, and that might help T Sammy get to the end of this race, and we'll find out, won't we? And of course that is the beauty then. Of course we got safety car out at the moment, and I wonder how long the safety car is going to be out for. So at the moment we're just watching it stay at the moment, and he is the race leader, and this is perfect, isn't it? Of course, he caught Maxi unaware in the first safety car restart. Can he do the same in the second one and pull away, or is it going to be Maxi this time that is going to do the old swapperoo then as well? So safety car is out then, as it is Maxi's teammate Rizzle Sticks then, who is out of this race, and that's the latest casualty of the S's going up the hill then. It's a bit of the snake part of the race as well then. So these guys are just trying to get these the hard tires up to temperature as well. So Double's also coming to the pits as well, and Double's got it's got fresher hard tires now until the end of this race, of course then. And as we got, as I think, I think we've already mentioned that Gareth is saying that he can't sort my overtake. Yeah, we was on board with Gaz there earlier on in this the safety car situation, the last one, and you can see the safety, it is stuck on, and just like we was talking about. So that is such a shame for Gaz, isn't it? He can't sort out his overtake, it's stuck on. But I looks there on that Red Bull, and he can't get it off, and he's going to lose so much performance, isn't he? Of course, as these are hybrid cars, and the amount of electrical output on these cars is absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? So he's going to be down on power by a lot then. Double back in the pits then, so Double, this is a scheduled stop then, and he is now going on to the soft tires, Double is then, so he is changing the strategy, and he is really shaking things up. So Double and T Sammy, watch out for both those two. They're going to be in fine battle then for the final part of this Japanese Grand Prix. And of course this is round 11 then. IRC has a mixed up calendar this season, so we are the first well, the first league to be raced in Japan, isn't it? So very interesting stuff then in terms of strategy, because no one's going to know in an absolute race situation what tyres to use and 100% of what tyres going on there, which is good, isn't it? This is what you want in your league race, and it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it, to see the drivers there really testing out the limits and testing out what they can and can't do then. So T Sammy has gone from medium to soft tyres. A double has gone from the medium tyres to the hard tyres, and now he's gone to the soft tyres as well as a double there, just to make sure he can get to the end of the race. And so belt and brace there for double, good stuff indeed then. So just watch and see at the moment then who is leading the well, it's just behind the safety car at the moment as well. And to the random calendar course, next we are going to the land of opportunity. It is of course the US Grand Prix in the Circuit of the Americas down in Texas. So of course there, and that's going to be a oh, I think the safety car's in the end of the stop, is it? I think it is actually. So we just had green lights come on that safety car. So hopefully that safety car is coming in and something, because we're going to have 10 laps into the finish. So it's going to be a sprint race then until the end of this one. Then yeah, so we go to the Grand Prix of the Americas next, the Circuit of the Americas next week. Then we for the American Grand Prix, and then we go on to Belgium as well, as the green lights are back on them for the safety car, because I think we are racing again here in Japan, and that is good stuff indeed. So we've had 2 safety cars in quick succession now then. So Steve then is going to be the pace setter then. There it is. So the safety car's in the end of the lap then, and here we go then. We're back racing in just a jiffy as well. So look at this, Max is determined not to be caught napping then, and see there is Holden. When's he going to go? He is going now. We're back racing here in Japan, lap 17, hour 27. Look at Max, he's all over the back of Steve there as we're going into turn 1 then. We're on board and he's going for the overtake. He's going on the outside. Steve there. Oh, Steve's gone wide. He's gone in too deep, and Maxi takes the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. Oh, that's a bit of contact as well, and he's going to go the inside. Oh my goodness me then, and Maxi takes the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. Steve went a bit too deep into turn 1, and that has cost him. And look at this, he's one of those tyres are a bit overheated on Steve there, as he was signing all over the show, wasn't he? And that is a big blow indeed then for Steve, and as he was oh dear, so he didn't want that second safety car, did he? So Maxi leads then the championship leader, and this is what he wants, and Steve will be back up in a second as it stands at the moment. But T Sammy is on the softer tyres though, isn't he? And he is going to be quite quick then later on down this race as well. We got Timmy in 5th position then, and we've also got T Sammy who's gone on the outside of us. Mason, fantastic manoeuvre there, gone brilliantly on the outside. Fizzy's also flying through the field as well. He's up in the 11th position, I should say, and now he's got JJ hasn't scored any points yet, but Fizzy goes on the inside as well. We've got Roscoe and Timmy, who is also swapped positions as well. Look at it, they're all over the show, aren't they? As JJ has dropped down the order. There's issues there for JJ because Mason has just followed Fizzy and T Sammy through. T Sammy's down with the 11th position. He is not far away from the points paying positions at this moment. We're on board then with the world champion as we fly through the 130 as well. Good stuff indeed. That doubles also got past it. Oh my goodness me then, as Gaz is having some major issues there, isn't he, on the car, and there's technical issues there for the Red Bull driver where he can't turn the overtake off. What a shame there for the Red Bull driver, as we're now then coming over the grid hatches once again. But I think that T Sammy now is remember this won't be days over from last season, but this time it's from 10 for the 11th, and oh my goodness me, Fizzy was not in there, was he? Oh my goodness me. Oh, T Sammy's also ran wide as well, going into turn 1. I've got to say, that was very nip and tuck, wasn't it, between those two drivers? And remember, it was very squeaky button. It was very much squeaky button time last season, wasn't it, where they crossed the line almost in a dead heat, didn't they? It was incredible. 56 hundredths of a second. No, I think it was 27 actually, wasn't it? 27 hundredths of a second, whatever it was less than a tenth of a second, wasn't it? It was fantastic. Look, someone's kicked up a bit of dirt there as well, and now coming under the crossover as well, out of Degner too then. Lovely stuff indeed there, and coming into the Kobayashi hairpin as well, which is not officially called that, but I like to call it anyway, because Kobayashi was my favourite Japanese driver, and of course there's a lot of great Japanese drivers over the years, isn't it? Of course Takuma Sato was another driver as well, who was a good driver, wasn't it? I think that there was a couple. I think the team possibly could have raced in the BER team where he probably should have and could have done more, couldn't he? I think in the Super Guri though, he really did impress, didn't he? And it really matured quite nicely to Takuma Sato, didn't he? Of course, also Guri Suzuki as well. Of course, I think he's on the Japanese. He was on the podium here in Japan, wasn't he? Back in 1990, wasn't it? Guri Suzuki, and he was the man then that was heading up the Super Guri team, wasn't he? Back in 2006 to 2008, and Max is setting up fast out of the race. Finishes all over the back of them. McLaren of Harry then, as Harry is going to have an amazing end to the race to keep these two men behind, don't they? Because gotta say that they're all over him like a bad suit, and it's like, look at this, they're gaining. No dear, I said that Fizz is gonna just do it the old-fashioned way. Not quite. Harry is not yielding. Harry has gone wide then. Oh, Fizzy almost understeered into the McLaren. Harry's gone wide then. Fizzy's gonna go on the outside. We've got a bird's eye see here. Oh, what a move from Fizzy. He passes Harry and moves up into ninth position. Absolutely formidable, absolutely fantastic, absolutely mega. Really good stuff indeed there from Fizzy. He is now having to ninth position. Harry dropping down to 10th position. Now he's got a soft shod T Sammy behind him as well. I remember T Sammy there is on the softer tires, and Double at the moment there is not making those soft tires work to his advantage yet. He is down in 14th position, and he's 2 seconds away at the moment. Back at the front, and it's 1.8 seconds there between Steve and Maxi as well. And oh, yellow flags as Gas is holding this. He's out of the race then, and he's gone off at the he's gone for the same place as the other guys have, of course, at the S's out at the beginning. And of course, there's been a lot of incidents there, hasn't there, over the course of this race. Then T-Sammy down in 11th position at the moment, and with the soft tires, I was expecting a bit more progression from the world champion, but it's not proven to be very fruitful tonight, is it, for T-Sammy? I'm not sure if he's carrying some other issues or something like that, but really struggling, isn't he, T-Sammy at the moment then. So you can see then, so at the moment, so we're under the virtual safety car. That means then that we have neutralised the race then. So in theory, you shouldn't lose any, shouldn't gain or lose any time on the car in front or behind then. It's as Crofty usually says, then it's basically being on the same part of the Scare Electric track, isn't it? Oh, there's a Harry there, there's a break in there. That could have become very nasty, isn't it, for T7? And now we're back racing a 3-second penalty there for double who's down in 40 position. And look at this, Fizzy's out the Poland. As all Poland run then, and who's going to be out there? Fizzy's still there. Oh, T-Sammy almost having a snap of oversteer there. And well, he did have a snap of oversteer there, but keeping the car, keeping the throttle buried in there, and luckily it's turning into the side then as Harry is not yielding, is he? Double is back in the pits, and so issues then for Double. What a shame then. Of course, then his safety car has really not helped Double, has it? Back on board now with T-Sammy as well, and Val is now 0.2 of a second away from Matt. Then he's going to see what the inside is. Dunlop, not quite. What about the techness? Oh, he had to clear the oversteer there for T-Sammy. Not go to the back of Harry. Oh, T-Sammy now having a nightmare race, and he's down to 11th position there once again, and it's not looking good at all, is it, for the champion? Look at those tires, they're a bit dirty, aren't they? So he's going to have to scrub them off. And Harry there is he letting T-Sammy by then? Well, he had a problem there, Harry did. I wonder if he felt that he didn't give T-Sammy enough of a gap then, perhaps. But T-Sammy's on his way. He's now up into 10th position. He's back at the points, and the world champion is. But it's the top two then who is really inflicting the most pain on T-Sammy. And then with just under 8 laps to go, so we come through the 130 yard, and at the moment then it's Matt then who's heading up Val, and Hogg then who is 7th and 8th position at the moment then. Is Val taking a very acute line there going into the chicane, isn't he? So then we're coming through then. Timmy's done 12 laps on those hard tires then. I don't think tyre wear shouldn't be crucial towards the end of this race then. So I think that's all good then. So these guys are now let loose, aren't they? Of course, you always have to save something in the Formula 1 car, don't you? As now we got Harry, who's now alongside Tommy. Oh my goodness me then! And Harry is back through. He's back past T-Sammy, and Harry is having a mega race. Just think about this. The soft tires are usually over a second quicker than the hard tires, so that is absolutely fantastic performance there from Harry. Lovely stuff indeed there from the McLaren driver then, and he is racing his boots off, isn't he? Those he really is good stuff there for Harry. But T-Sammy there is all over the back of him, isn't he? Whilst they've been fighting, Fizzy has just appeared up the road, hasn't he? He's into Degna 2 already, and that is this corner here then, as you can see now, as T-Sammy got to go up and under that. Oh my goodness me then, and look at this, and he's passed yellow flag, and Mason is out. It's the same places in the qualifying as well, and we got another car in this out of the race, and we got another safety car in this race, and goodness me then, look, there he is, he's in the wall, same as what happened in qualifying as well. Unfortunately, another safety car, and that's 3 now in the past couple of laps. Goodness me, we're down to 13 cars in this race then, as they are dropping out like flies at the moment, aren't they, here in Japan. It looks like this is about survival of the fittest, isn't it, here in Japan then, and about keeping the car on the track then. So at this stage of the proceedings, I don't think really coming in the pits there is going to help anyone, is it? Because of course here T Sammy is showing it's very difficult to overtake, isn't it? Because he's struggling to get through the field at this stage of proceedings, and he's still in 11th position. T Sammy has said, as we've seen Hog, who is coming in the pits, then so Hog is deciding to change the strategy. Same with Fizzy and Harry and T Sammy as well. Then. So we're all coming into the pits then. So then this is going to get very interesting. So soft tires then for the guys behind them. It is very difficult to overtake here, isn't it? Look at this. This the McLaren mechanics get to work. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? And now we've got T Sammy T Sammy in the pits as well then. And look at this, changing those tires. He's coming back on track as well. Double has already changed those tires out. So 9th Hog, 10th Fizzy, 11th Harry, and 12th T Sammy all changed onto the soft tires, and Double has as well then. I'm wondering then if JJ might also roll the dice as well. JJ has not got points yet for the Williams team, has he? And this is going to be a good day indeed for the Williams team if they can get some points on the board then. So hopefully the safety car will be in. I think it might be the end of the next lap rather than this. I was just watching Double there come over the grid hatch as well. There, 22 out of 27 here in Suzuka as well. As I got to say, we might get to the 4-hour mark, isn't we? Because we've had 3 safety cars in this race now. Goodness me, then. So I'm glad that you guys all got your snacks out and all that kind of jazz before the race, because this is going to be a long one, isn't it? Here in Japan, and it really has been indeed, hasn't it? Fantastic. Well, not for the drivers, but it has been for me. So then, let's take stock then. So we've got half the drivers then who are not, well, just under half the drivers on the soft tires then. And that is 9th down to 13th. Everyone else on the hard tires, and they have done at least 11 laps. East has done 13 laps. JJ has done 13 laps then. So that might prove to be very important indeed then later on in this race then. Of course, we've already seen that T Sammy, who struggled to get past the hard shot runners of Harry and Fizzy, hasn't he, earlier on in the session now. And perhaps a nut might be the key to this race then. So they've not caught up beyond the safety car then. So let's go back to the front then. So at the moment now, the last 2 safety car restarts, we've had the change in the lead, haven't we? Of course, Sarah's Steve overtook Maxi there, and then Maxi retook the lead, hasn't he? So is it going to be the same again then, or have these 2 guys learned their lessons? Well, we're going to find out, and we're on board with Steve at the moment then, who is going to be second in the championship at the end of this race as well. And that is what we're all fighting for, of course, being the world champion of IRC Season 8 there. And at the moment there, it's anyone's ball game, isn't it? But Maxi is leading this race and will extend his lead in the World Drivers' Championship as things stand to say are then. And that is what, and he will love it to say as it is. But of course, he's got Steve and Sprint very much a hard challenge as well. Timmy in 4th position as well. And the man who was on pole position, that's his first pole position since Canada 2 seasons ago, of course. Then, so yeah, hats off to Timmy there. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And of course, there are any you Formula 1 fanatics out there, remember tomorrow is, of course, the Eiffel Grand Prix, or as I like to just call it, the Luxembourg Grand Prix, which it was the Luxembourg Grand Prix in 98, I think, wasn't it? So we're going back to the Nürburgring, and for the first time since 2013, I think it's the first time that F1's going to be racing around there in the hybrid era. It's fantastic, isn't it? And it looks like it's going to be the coldest race on record, isn't it? I think that on the race day, it's going to peak to about 9 degrees, isn't it? I wonder if they're going to get those old snow tyres, aren't they? It's going to be very cold, isn't it? Goodness me as well. Well, it was meant to be raining, wasn't it, throughout the whole of the weekend? But I think it's meant to be just raining on Friday now, and it's meant to be dry for Saturday and Sunday. I would love a wet race, to be honest. Of course, we've been teased about the wet racing so many times, haven't we? Like in Hungary. I'm still waiting for the rain to come in Hungary. Of course, it was teased and teased, but 20 minutes away, and it just never showed up, did it? And so we'll soon find out, of course. I'm really looking forward to that Grand Prix tomorrow as well, over the weekend as well. It's great to see everyone back at the Nürburgring. So at least something kind of positive has come out of this very difficult year, to say the least, hasn't it? So just waiting for, there it is, the lights are off then, and Bert Mylander is now coming back in the garage then. Now we've got another sprint race, and I've got to say, it was on a 10-lap sprint race, so we now got just about a 4-lap sprint race, 5 or 4-lap sprint race. I thought Sprint was going, I thought Steve was going to the back of him as as well then. And the safety car hasn't got too far away here. On board then as we're about to get raced again in Japan. Look at him, he's backing them all up then. When is Maxi going to go? When's he going to go? He is going now! And we are back racing here in Japan then. And now we're on lap 24 and look at the car. Oh my goodness me, look at the background. There's so much going on in the background. Oh my goodness me, that's Terry there just defending against Roscoe. As they go into turn 1 as well then. As are they all... oh, look at this. That's Val then, who's Hog, who's going underneath for Val at the moment then. And now we've got Fizzy then. So look at this. Oh, it's Hog almost went to the back of Val. Look at them all. As they're scrambling all over the back of someone, isn't they? Yellow flag, and that's JJ who's out of the race there. And that's a shame. In the same place in that corner, I gotta say, it's no, Val's gone. Val is gone then. He is in the wall. Val is in the wall then. And I think he's scored every single race in his IRC career. That might be coming to an end here tonight then. Oh dear, and now Fizzy's also passed as well. He loves that in the corner, doesn't he, Fizzy? That's where he overtook T-Harry for the lead last season here in Japan. And Hog is now in Hog is now in 9th position as well, so Harry in 8th position and Hog dropping down a couple positions as well, so Fizzy is now up into 7th position there. His next target is Matt in 6th position. I was about to say Matthew in 6th position there. And look at this then as well, as Hog has now got up the inside into Spoon, not quite then, and as Harry has got the high ground, hasn't he? Oh goodness me then, fantastic stuff there. And look at this as T-Sammy, it's Hog is off the circuit, at the Renault car is off the track then, and Val there is just coming back to the pits, and what a shame now for Val. This will be the first time he's not scored a point in his IRC career. That is quite massive, isn't it? Matt now needs to defend, isn't he? But it might be futile here because those soft tyres are on lap 25, 3 laps to go, and these soft tyres, it's going to be like quality tyres. Roscoe is past Timmy. Roscoe is up into 4th position. Timmy down to 5th position. Fizzy there is just not quick enough on the straights there, and that might be what will help Matt then get some major points here today. As a T-Sammy down in 9th position at the moment, and Double is currently in 10th position as well then for the Renault team then. So Double hasn't scored any points yet then, and really then he is on course then. That'll be a good stuff here tonight and for Double, won't it? On board then with Timmy, who is dropped back now as well, just watching Matt and look in the background. There is Fizzy then, as he is just keeping in the wheel tracks. One of Val's on the soft tyres and to the end of this race then, and unfortunately Val probably wish he'd done that earlier on the race. Then it's a yellow flag then, it's a Hog who's had issues again then. Oh, and once again it's a Dunlop there. We got 2 corners that of course issues tonight, and it's the beginning of the S's, and also Dunlop as well, and he has now dropped Rob behind his teammate Double then, so that might be a reprieve for Double. And now then with 3 laps to go then, can Double get his first point of the season? That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? Sprint is a second back at the moment, and it's a Hog is out of the race. Harry is left for session, and that's not good at all for Harry, and he's going to be dropping down the order then as well, so this might also help Val get into the points then. And we're on board there with Fisher. Look at him, he's pushing him over the 130 yard and flying through there now as well. And look at this, and he's going to go on the outside, is he? He is on the outside. He'll have the inside. Mason's having the session as well, but Matt there is not giving him any space whatsoever there. And T-Sammy is also past Harry as well. What a shame for Harry. Can he get back in the session? Being DRS has been able, can he get himself back in the session before the laps run out? And look at this, no Fizzy's on the inside. Oh my goodness me then. And he was oh, Matt's gone wide down the exit, and where is he? Oh, Matt then has just gone the curves, but he is still okay. He is still 6th position, but Fizzy is all over the back of him, isn't he? Like a bad suit, like a rash. And now we've got T-Sammy also joining the fray as well. Fantastic stuff indeed then. And look at this as they come through the S's once again then. Matt has gone wide. There's contact from Dunlop. He's on the outside into Degner. He's on the outside into Degner. He's on the inside to Degner too. That's fantastic. Oh no, it's a contact. Fizzy has spun there, and oh no, and Fizzy's dropped down to 8th position then, and Double is now into 9th position. He's on 2 points then, and next up is T-Sammy as well then. Now T-Sammy is less than 7/10 second away. There's Harry still. I'm not sure, is Harry still in the session now, because he's still got some good pace there in that McLaren. Lovely something then. And so the one then is look how condensed here. If anyone's got penalties in there, it's really going to hurt him at the end of this race, isn't it? Back on board once again then with T-Sammy, and Matt has done 15 laps on these hard tyres, and these are basically brand spanking new soft tyres, and they on the T-Sammy, so he's going to be under. Oh, look at this, he's on the outside, he's on the grass, he's going on the outside. Fantastic, it's going to be like Alonso and Schumacher 2005. Brilliant, he's on the outside, he has taken 6th position. T-Sammy has him, but Matt is not giving up, is he? He wants to get back past, and he will have DRS, and he's also he's also getting out all those toys in that AlphaTauri. He's going to have DRS, he's going to have overtake as well. He is turned the wake up, and look at how quick he is. He's come back for it as well. Matt is not giving up, is he? And Harry is in the pits then as well, and so Harry is opening Harry's AI is opening the door for Val to get some points here. Val is on the other part of the circuit at the moment now, so we're on board now as Harry's back in the session there, but unfortunately the Arrows have decided to pit him only on the 4-lap soft tyres, and so that is very unlucky, isn't it? We're on the final lap of the Japanese Grand Prix, but I can't take my eye off this barrel here. This is fantastic at the moment, and the gap is a second between first and second. Then there's a 2-second deficit between a sprint and C. Then we've got Roscoe, who's less than a second behind, and same with Timmy as well. 5 seconds then between Matt and Timmy then in the battle for 5th and 6th position, and fantastic stuff. And T-Sammy all over the back of Matt, and it's really accelerate out, and this is getting very feisty indeed, isn't it? And now then, as I've lost all my time in there. So good job. I read through all that just a minute ago. So as Matt now is Matt using all his gizmos and gadgets in that AlphaTauri there to get back past. Good stuff indeed there from Matt. So I think he must have saved up down this straight there, which is why T Sammy got by, and then And that's how he got back past Maxi. Then what a fantastic drive! This will be his 5th race. Oh no! Maxi is off! Maxi is off and hit the wall. Steve is going to come through to win the Japanese Grand Prix, and Ross is in 2nd. 3rd is Maxi is in 5th. He's thrown away a victory here. Maxi has. Oh my goodness me! Man in 6th position. T. Sammy in 7th. Double is going to come through in 8th position there. Nolan is Fizzy in 8th. Double in 9th position there, and Harry is going to come through. This will also be the first time that Val is not going to score a point in his IRC career. Steve wins the race on the last corner, just like last season. Oh my goodness me, what an incredible end to this Japanese Grand Prix. Steve then is going to win his that's his 2nd Grand Prix victory of the season as well. Fantastic stuff indeed then for Steve. Oh my goodness me, then he will not take the lead in the Drivers' Championship, but that is going to be a big dent to Maxi's lead then as well. Of course, Maxi had a couple of issues last season. We haven't seen any of those issues this season, but that might be a major mistake in the World Drivers' Championship, possibly, potentially. But Steve, double getting driver today. That was I got to say, I absolutely that is definitely well deserved. But Steve then, brilliant stuff indeed then. And what a podium. Oh, lovely stuff indeed. And Roscoe getting 3rd position in the end as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff there from Steve. And what a race there. Really enjoyed that. That was absolutely fine stuff indeed, wasn't it? And really well done indeed there from all the guys out there. Absolutely fantastic. And let's take a look at the classification then from the Japanese Grand Prix. Double was the only man that got 3 seconds, wasn't it? So unfortunately that lost him a potential 4 points, but he still got his 1st points of the season. Lovely stuff indeed then. So it was Steve who won the race, and that is his 2nd Grand Prix victory of the season. Sprinted 2nd there. Roscoe in 3rd. Timmy in 4th position. Maxi, what can you say there? Looks like he got on the power coming out of the chicane there, and because of that, he spun it and he lost the lead there at the final moments of this race. So he got fastest up there, but that is a big blow for Maxi. 6 is Matt. T. Sammy in 7th position. 8th position is Fizzy. Double in 9th. Harry in 10th position. Val is first time out of the points in his IRC career. Out of the race then is Hogg, JJ, Mason, Gaz, Rizzles, Penny, PB, and Armstrong all retired from this incredible Japanese Grand Prix. Japanese just never fails to bring up some amazing races, does it? That's absolutely splendid stuff, isn't it? Here in the IRC in Japan then. And that is going to be it for here tonight then, of course. It's been brilliant stuff. But our next race we are going to is of course the Circuit of the Americas, of course, over in the land of opportunity, isn't it? It is the American Grand Prix then, and I got so I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be really good stuff on that. And we're officially halfway through the IRC season of season 8, and I've got to say it's been absolutely brilliant stuff. It really has. Thank you for joining us. It has been stupendous, hasn't it? And I'll see you in a week's time then for the American Grand Prix.